Just be patient. Just be slow. Remind. In a good position to hopefully reposition for his team, but flashes are out. Gets one. Flashes actually hits. Oh, Zacharino not able to swing off of his teammate's flash, gets blinded by it, and that allows them to get the pick and get out.
Bit of a shame here for Lambda to fall. Again, Dragons, they have so much intuition, but Goats, they're just running them down. And Ox here, op shot goes missed. That's going to be all the information the CT side needs. Zacharino's going to find Martin. A swing, they're going against you, and it's all crumbly for Goats. They've stepped into the territory of Dragons, and they're getting scorched earth. Pop-Off here, last one standing, and Njuki's just going to shut him down. 11-12, Goats now on a bad eco into the following round, and how do I think it's going to be overtime?
There you go. 11-12. Locking on up. I think this is a potential for Goats to kind of be worried. They're broke. It's the last round. And they have to call timeout again. So, Puffo, what went horribly wrong with that attack? Was it just they weren't anticipating the angles? Was it the off angles? Was it the fact that they might have gotten that first pick, but it didn't really matter? Like, what's slowing these guys down?
I feel like it was the lack of preparation. Again, they kind of made a bit of a call to lurk around this mid side. Then, as Dragons were nicely set up around A, and of course Ox missed shot didn't go punished, they swung into him heavily without the consideration that maybe there's more than just one player holding him. That cross took down one player, then of course Dragons went for a bit of a flank, and Goats kind of crumbled because they gave them too much space.
Yep. Fair point. Too much space is all you really have to do as a mistake to lose the game. And Dragons, their map pick, one away, up against some people who do not have the best amount of money. This could be a risky position for them. But with double magic, want to get this trade. Zacharino! That's going to pretty much guarantee overtime unless we can see this hero rifle really lock in. Or Hero Deagle, what a shot! Juki is gone. And A site is ready for the taken, but Remind is wanting to fight this.
Haza's still very much in it. That Eagle can certainly do its damage, and now Goats trying to approach A. Very approachable, as a matter of fact, but Remind has been a tyrant in certain situations. 21 on the board as of the current KD. Double magic a bit awkward going into the swing, but he needs to win his one if he wants to allow his team that entry. Zacharino is going to find Pop-Pop, double magic as well, and just like that, overtime is confirmed by Dragons.
Zacharino just got an ace to get it to overtime, by the way. That was the 2 kills at the start into the 3 kills at the end. A beautiful ace here coming out from Zacharino. I said we're going to be looking at this player, and here we are. Overtime number 1. And let's see if it's going to be Dragons keeping up their momentum, or now that Goats has buys. I mean, that's the thing. It's you just had to punish them for their lack of economy. Overtime, that's not going to be a problem anymore.
Nope, certainly not, but 3 rounds here for both these teams to try and maximize both these roles upon. The CT given over towards Dragons. They've been trying to climb from the self-dug and hole of this opening half, and Diami's taking heavy damage, but he returns a tenfold and even walks away. Why didn't Zacharino shoot there? He knew that Yami was there and maybe even low, but sadly that missed opportunity might come back to bite him.
All right. Oh, Molly's to get aggressive here. Wants to swing out of that fire. Goes for the wall bang instead. Haza knows that the reload's right around the corner. Wants to try to now just re-hit. They've already gotten Remind down here. And the Goats need to worry about Zacharino. One player watching the flank. Oh. And what a shot. Just executes the guy. Crazy.
No mercy. Holding 0 punches. Missed one by double magic, unfortunately. But again, he's now holding 2 players in a bit of a pinch towards that backside of B. So again, that's a huge advantage if you do recognize the situation hold. Just have to be patient though. Again, Dragons, you've been off to such a good one. Another one goes missed again. The reaction is nearly impossible to hit unless you're a T1 player. And, well, Dragons, they're certainly climbing to that route. But Ox is a bit better than double magic on that up, it seems like. There's that counterfeit. Now the entry by Goats. Oh, what are we doing there, Njuki? Just a lamp for the slaughter. Lamp to speaking of who is going to find Haza. And, oh, it's Calamity around this site. It's just down to how Popov can work against these two. And, well, he won't. Simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of crazy from them, to be honest with you. 13-12. You're looking at Dragons consistently being able to pop off with the hero plays. Zacharino and Lambda definitely need to keep this duo together. You need to keep them together because this could be the roster that takes it into the grand finals if they keep it up. But Goats, they have Haza, they have Popoff, they have Diami, they have some amazing players to really lock this in, and they just have to prove it.
Ooh, double magic. He's going to shoot on through the smoke like Remind. I guess it goes both ways now. A swing by Zacharino that gets punished by Martin again. The expectancy of aggression here has been growing as on the rise, though. A push this deep into mid. Haven't we seen it yet? Nope. Remind's going to find Haza. Good to catch upon that intuition. Popov there just spotted the CT player, but the retreat has come through fast enough where he's safe. And what the hell are we doing, Ox? Just jumping into mid thinking that you're safe. Well, you're going to get proven wrong by Popov.
Yeah, Popoff very solid here to keep these guys playing back. And now with the 3v2. Remind takes the first swing, aiming too high, trying to swing up heaven, underestimating the real push there. Leaves now Lambda wanting to now get in this with the smokes down, but unfortunately Lambda is on the other side of the map. Plant's going to be pretty much guaranteed here. Popoff tries baiting it just a little bit, has the time to do so. Lambda, though, takes advantage of that timer, will consistently move up in mid. Let's see if he's going to go down the same way his teammate did.
Yeah, sadly, he won't be able to prevail for any much longer. And this is the largest downside here for Dragons. Again, the CT side had been working in favor for both these teams, so you have to be very careful with giving away these CT rounds as you only have 3, and 1 more remains here. Dragons making it a 14-13 would be the bare minimum, but if Goats can capitalize upon that, the second half of the first round of overtime would certainly be, well, benefactory for them.
Yeah. Big benefactors, and now bigger and better is the 13-13 score line. I think that now what we need to be looking at here from both of these teams is really that confidence in how they're swinging. A lot of the time is they're really confident in one particular angle when they need to be covering 3. That swing that we saw happening a lot of the time is that they're just getting kind of diffed by the off angles. I need to see them playing off of each other and also just being a little bit smarter. Okay, it's been about 20 seconds. This player can be pushed up mid at this angle. We got to just kind of not rule out anything, and again, do not play by assumptions. We don't want to do that.
No, you certainly don't. We've had ourselves a bit of a moment for both these teams to relax, take a breather, but now we return to the last round where Dragons in the first overtime have the CT sides and Goats right before heading towards what is favored, need to make the most of it. We see Ox back on that op again, not a boutique buy from the side of Dragons considering they lost the round, but still quite stacked, enough to throw double nades around Rabs, which certainly do go unnoticed because Goats, their presence is elsewhere.
Nice. We got one there from Ninjuki onto Diami. We do want to see them try to just execute out. Remind. Almost. No, doesn't quite get the spray. We are going to smoke this off so we can go for the plant, but Remind. He's cut off. Just enough time to plant it, and Haza protects his teammate. Double Magic is still alive, but what a shot from Ox, splitting his team up, and Ninjuki keeps it going. Leaves a Popoff alone, but he gets taken out middle. That's Dragons. Beautiful retake.
Fantastic. Again, it was a bit of a struggle towards that opening, but after Zacharino fell, flawless from the side of Dragons, as, like mentioned, they used up the CT side as much as they could. It's down to Goats if they're going to be able to win each and every one of these rounds going towards this second half of overtime, or will it be overtime round number 2, which I wouldn't be too surprised because, again, these two teams have been neck and neck.
Neck and neck. I mean, Goats taking the early advantage here. Yeah.
Is it Dragons that have 14 rounds or Goats? Did we swap? I feel like it's Dragons that were just on the CT side, no?
Yeah, no, we swapped the entire rosters just now.
Oh,
which isn't true. Goats is Dragons is currently up 14. We just have to swap the sides. Don't be confused at all. This is the team. I looked at the bracket. I looked at the rosters. I'm not crazy. You're not getting gaslit, Twitch chat. You're not getting gaslit, X chat. It's now time to lock
There
it
we
in.
go. No, I just had to make sure. There we go. We swapped the names back. It should be good. 14 for Dragons, 13 for Goats. And, well, not the greatest beginning for any of these two teams because Juki and Yami have both fallen, which, again, sentimental players without a doubt. Good one from Zacharino. As it will fall there. Pop off with a refrag. Sadly, he can only persist for one. Ox up close, can win his one, and Dragons in this T side might be looking like they're ready to close this map out.
Might be looking to close it out. Very smart to see this angle here. So just push on up. Good shot there. Remind, able to remind us why is in the game here. Dragons now at match advantage. This could be the game, or Goats having to win this round can completely set us up into our second half of overtime. Definitely doable, but overall Dragons in this lead has been doing extra work. But at the end of the day, it's about who can finish it, not how it started. Let's see who is going to be able to put themselves in the position to lock this down, as we are looking at Dragons very aggressive, rushing into mid. This time, not taking too much damage here. Goats. Yami. Fully blinded. Just gets trades out like that. Lambda, though. Zacharino getting two. Double Magic's op is here, but it's now 3-3. A-site weakness. Zacharino wants to rotate to the team. We still see that double up on B that could stop this ending game play.
3 players on both ends. Again, Dragons, I doubt they want to go any further with Goats, considering how terrifying the team they faced can be. But now 3 T-side players around this catwalk pushing towards Cave and Ram, both and up in the hands of Ox, which has been quite a terrifying point of view to be up against. But close on these caves, it's an awkward gunfight to take if you are the op carrier. It's down to Goats and how they're going to respond, because currently a split line between A and B. 2 players majority to try and hold it down, but this smoke is going to make it impossible to see through.
Molly just in time. Popov wants to swing through. Might be able to get the wall bang down, but the flash is perfect there from Ox. That's a double down for Zacharino. Now it's just double Magic, who has to make some magic, has to clutch this up. 1-3. Up in hand, and the opportunity. What?
Oh,
That went right over his head.
that stings. That just hurts, you know. It seemed like it connected, but at that point, it was a bit too far, I guess so. You know, it sucks. But hey, Dragons are going to win map number 1, and that's what matters for them. It was their pick, so by the end, they should be the ones finding themselves most comfortable on it. I just wonder how Mirage is going to be looking, and Dragons now in series point. I'm going to look forward to seeing how Goats are affected by it, especially mentally.
Yeah, honestly, the mental of Goats having such a powerfully strong lead, I think is going to be padded a little bit here. It's game 1. It's game 1 of the semifinals, and it was very close overtime, and it wasn't their map pick. They're now moving into a more comfortable map. I think everything favors that Goats is not going to be too worn down about that outcome. I think Dragons, is even more shocked here, because that was a very hard-fought win for their map pick, now moving into Goats' advantage. I think that honestly, we could be looking at this full best of 3 continuing here. So looking over at this, the amazing plays that we saw from this team from both sides, I want to again shout out one of our major sponsors, which is where we're at here at the PGCS Plausible Gaming Championship Series. Would be nothing without our Plausible LFG network. Community owners, you guys know this. You know the pain here. You know that your moderator's getting pulled into every voice room argument. There's dead channels, zero real growth, even though you're grinding to build your community. And that's exactly why we built the Plausible LFG bot, something that you can add, to your servers. It automatically creates and deletes voice rooms, gives squad hosts full control, so your mods never have to step in again, assigns stat-based roles that actually gamify your server and boost chat activity, as well as blast your community across our entire network so new members members can flood on in. And of course, it's not only less headaches for your mods, it's better games and consistent engagement for your members. Install the bot free right now at plausible.gg and watch your Discord finally feel like the streamlined smoothities that it is, and the next wave of active players is waiting to have that bot help them out. So make sure you head on over to plausible.gg. But with that sponsor being said, me and Puffo are going to be sending it to a short break, as we do have one more map here potentially if Dragons keeps it going, or we're going to be back with Mirage and Goats might take the cake.
Write it down, what you want, what you need, what you see, everything that you wanna be. Put it out in the world, that's your destiny. In your mind, what you need is to have belief. I'm gonna make it to the top, cause I never stop. My own switch doesn't have enough. I think it's broken, I think it's lost. I guess that's why I never take a loss. You don't need no fear, just be everything you wanna be. Write it down, what you see, don't give up, just believe and you will succeed. Put the hours in, and you're bound to win. Just believe and you will succeed. Put the hours in and you're bound to win. Make a deal with yourself that you'll get after it. Find something that you love, call it passionate. Or find some passion and leave it behind, adequate. Your journey starts now, time to make it happen then. You could be great, have it your way. Served up like some room service on a nice plate. The high life is only hours a day away from making a change to the life that you chase on. New year, new you, new day. Go prove to yourself you could do anything you wanna do. When you set your mind to something big that you choose, break it down to the root, chip away, gotta move. Push past all your limitations. Right now consider this an invitation. Make your worth go up like inflation, and start chasing your dreams, stop waiting. You don't need no fear, just be everything you wanna be. Write it down, what you see, don't give up, just believe and you will succeed. Put the hours in, and you're bound to win. You don't need no fear, just be everything you wanna be. Write it down, what you see, don't give up, just believe and you will succeed. Put the hours in, and you're bound to win. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why they say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
And welcome back. I hope you had a refreshing break. I hope you've got everything you need to enjoy the show further, because we are going to be heading into the second map of our first semi-final here. It is still me, Puffer Bob. It is still Edu. And Edu, we just witnessed Ancient Dragons winning out. Now we're heading towards Mirage. And opinions on Mirage?
I mean, Mirage, it's a map that I would say a lot of people in Counter-Strike's history have claimed is solved. I mean, right now, it's one of the most common, if not the most common pick in competitive play. It's very common across all Faceit servers. It's very common here at Plausible. I think that Mirage is going to be where these players really need to lock this in, because overall, what I'm really noticing for this team, and for both of these teams, is that they love going back and forth based off of the weapons that they have. So let's just jump straight into the game here and talk a little bit about how Mirage is one of those maps where you can do it with Deagles, you can do it with MAC-10s, you can do it with any gun. So maybe these buy round switcheroos is going to change.
Maybe, but you know, we saw Goats. They had themselves a really good beginning on Ancient. Maybe they're not going to have themselves as such of a good beginning, but the continuation a bit better here as Double Magic, Refrags, and Jugi's kill went close to this app's entrance, but everyone's taking the opposite route. Zacharino finds himself 2 Lambda with another and a backstab here by 2 players to secure Dragons the opening round.
Yeah. Already a very fast round there. I mean, you run at them, you run through apartments, you're going to get shut down. Dragons, great aim overall. 2-2-1, very solid. And now 1 point up. We're looking at the force. Goats, remember last time, forced up and was able to turn it around on the Dragons fairly well. So maybe Dragons will just piss around demons, but let's hope that those Deagles and Tech 9s don't completely shatter the Dragons' buys.
I'm liking this by Goats. Normally, you would never dare push mid if you have pistols, because again, long range is probably one of the most deadly aspects of having a secondary compared to the rifles that Dragons already bring in. A smoke there for Lambda to keep himself a bit more safe. We've seen what he can do when playing against entering apps players, and there's 2 of them. 3 have descended into short, and right now just gonna ignore the Windows player. Zacharino finds Pop-Off, and he won't be given enough space to find the refrag, but Ramin reminds 2 for himself. Lambda falls in return. Ox as well in suite. Now 2v2, but the guns aren't best. A bit of damage towards one of the T-side players, although Goats have locked Dragons outside of their own sight.
Yeah, locked them out. I mean, Goats, they're just really good at these eco rounds. You just can't give them Glocks only, all right? The old meme, you lose to Glocks, not this team. You have to lose to Tech 9s. But Ninjuki trying to fight this back. 19 HP, gets it alive and well. Remind wants to push up, does spot out the player in bench, but then... Oh! What a shot!
Oh my goodness, I think he curved a bullet there.
Just right into the noggin. And Goats forcing up did get the bomb plant, so they are going to be able to go for another decent-ish buy. But at the end of the day, Dragons, they lost a lot there. You know, Ox not really having the best amount of money, has to get bought by Remind. So, you know, it was damage to the economy, but could have been a complete 180 by Goats. Yet again, they're very good at these early rounds.
Interesting investments. We have an all-around the secondary board here by Goats, and then Double Magic standing out with an AK and no utility. Certainly can take that front end of the charge, or at least go for the most prominent refrags. Nate is going to be perfectly timed. Just a spray down by Njuki, and Zacharino shuts the majority of this team down. Goats cannot find themselves any caveat to pass on to Goats beside the kill that Haza has delivered, as Popov now a bit late to the party, a Tech 9 in hand, and hoping he can make any kill work for himself.
Yeah. Any kill at all. Popov will be spotted and executed by Zacharino, who is just farming kills right now, wanting to keep this going. I think what is 6-1. So Dragons, you know, starting off very, very strong on Mirage, but at the end of the day, we kind of anticipated that. They have their momentum from game 1, and it's Mirage. So even though it is Goats map pick, it's a map that everyone should know. So getting on into here, we are looking at a split coming out from the T side, split to get to A.
Double Magic investing in that AK earlier is now going to leave him only with a pistol. Dragons boosting towards ladder. As the rest of Goats, they've been quite allergic to this A side, it seems like. It's been B and mid or nothing else. They haven't even touched under, which is a surprise. But now a shutdown by Popov. He's going to read into Njuki's window spot. Zacharino still stands, and that farm of kills continues as Goats are now 3 down. A trade of 2, but what does it matter when Ox is still finding himself on the kill lead with Yami, a lonely number 1 with an AK in hand, 41 on the count, trying to make anything work. He finds a spray to shut down Ox. That's the op player got off forward, but 2 more to carry. Lambda Core and Remind are no fools to mess around with, and there it is. Just a pop of the head, back of the skull cracked.
Yep, and we are going to be able to grab our op back. That's pretty solid. Ox definitely needs that guy, and Goats losing their buy round is a kind of upset here for them, and pretty much you wouldn't have anticipated that considering how potent their buy rounds were on that first map. So starting off very strong, 4-0. Starting off on the CT side as well, it seems like CTs are just having a field day in the current Counter-Strike meta, and here's one that's doing that too. Njuki grabs Popov. Zacharino takes the space and gets another pick. It's like we're watching the same round over and over again.
I mean, Goats are just victims by this point. They try to go in for a full investment. Now the first time they step upon this A, if we don't count the previous round, it stares us. Speaking of which, Martin's going to find one upon it. Second one with a wall bang. Good delivery here by one player. Hopefully he doesn't rely all on him because Double Magic is going to step himself up too. The plant is down here and Dragons are going to need to find the retake with only Lambda and Ox. Certainly 2 individuals that can get it running, but considering the economy Goats have been working with, Dragons want to keep them down low, so they're not going to pass down this M4 nor the op. They're going to play it safe and just try to cut off any rotations away from the bomb explosion.
Yeah, cutting off anything like that could make it worth, and Lambda able to grab one. Pushing on up, gets blinded. Haza, huge round from them, and Ox just wants to save that op. And yeah, 5 HP. Probably want to clear some distance here. Fire in the hole coming around here, so be a little bit worried here. Wait. Oh, perfect exit frag.
I love Haza just peeking and showing his beautiful face, only for that to be smothered across the walls of kitchen. 4-1 here. Dragons, they did go flawless for a bit. Goats are now going to find themselves a re-evaluating round, but the eco that's been being built up allows Dragons to go in for this buy. Maybe the one in the next round if this one is a loss as well. However, again, Goats with this momentum, certainly a good approach at it. Even considering they lost 2 of the opening picks, they were still able to return thanks to the efforts of, I do believe it was it Double Magic or Haza? Whoever found it. Oh no, it was Martin.
Oh, unfortunate. Ox not able to grab that pick. Might want to re-swing. Definitely in a decent off angle to try to get the jump, but I think Haza reads that here. Flashes, smokes. They're landing on this side eventually, but timing. Just gotta wait.
Ox, he is locked in right now.
It's about the double swing though. Oh, just barely able to read that he's getting swung from the other side. Is getting out. Zacharino grabs Popov in the kill feed, taking out a player in mid, and Njuki traded by Double Magic.
Well, Magic lighting things up. Better for Goats here. Once more, if they want to get themselves onto a score that is similar more to Dragons, rather than that Uno standing still. A full site map rotate going towards from B to A. And now all 3 players are going to split this only towards Palace, seemingly so, because that's how they did it last time. And don't fix what's not broken. There we go.
Or just break what's fixed. Let's just break everything here. Because now seeing this 4v4, 30 seconds remaining, they're not going to have enough time for a break. They have to start moving fast, going in quick, as we are going to see the gun. Oh, you saw his gun? Okay. Oh. Luckily, his teammate's able to grab it, but Zacharino's able to get 2 there. Goats kind of distracted a little bit, but Double Magic's able to get 1. And with 12 HP, 10 seconds on the clock, grabs the bomb and has to stick it. Just will barely have enough time. 12 HP means you're just going to get pushed like that. Unfortunate, but a good attempt from the Goats.
A good attempt. But now they're going to get sent back down onto being a round away from Broketown once more. Even then, they still can't afford to AK some of these players, and that just, you're going to have to bite the bullet on it. Right now, Dragons are without a doubt serving them on a silver platter, considering it's a 5-1 scoreline, more dominant than any result we've seen between these two teams in both the maps played. And considering this is a semifinal, again, Dragons, compared this to their own map pick, they've warmed up, and that's certainly showing. But Oxy still need to hit some of those shots, and it's honestly heartbreaking to see them go mixed, while though Yami enters towards Khan and can allow Double Magic to back him up as a 2-for-1 deal for Goats.
Wow. 2-for-1 deal. And ooh, Ox sees his teammate walking on up. One down. Lambda gets one from mid. The nade. Not going to clear the smoke, but will let Popov know he has to push on up. Ox just has to be patient. Spots the barrel, executes immediately. Very solid round there. Now, Double Magic in mid. Yep, we know what he's done. He likes to lurk up here, likes to have this gun, but try again. Movement diff.
He's gonna get it.
He got it. He's now in, and they don't know. They think he might still be mid.
Oh, he's passed through the window. That's certainly a good position, but again, he's working against two players that are holding the angles. Look at him, Juki. He has it locked down, and there we go. Just needed a single bullet. Double Magic's HP was not sufficient to survive those. Even a bit of an upgrade. He can carry that AK into the CT side, which certainly proves to be quite an upgrade compared to the M4A1S, which has 20 bullets into suppressor, which, a bit of a yikes for me. 6-1 here, Dragons have secured themselves at least a drawn-out split within this opening half, and for the CT side, that's good. That's solid. They keep it up, and Goats might be in danger.
Goats might be in danger. 6-1. Double Magic will be able to save by an op. Remember, last round was an eco round for this player, so his very domineering presence in mid can be expanded on here. Overall, though, Lambda is going to just try his best to get that one opening pickup. And at the end of the day, Diami needs to try to get that same amount of impact he had last game, because him and Haza, not doing too hot. Double Magic, the bottom frag, now doing their thing. It's like everyone's just taking a trade here.
Lambda has been so good around these apps. Jump peak perfect there to not only discourage Yami of playing aggressive, but also relay a bit of information. Dragons now with a small step back, just making sure that if this push around B does end up happening, they're going to have some sort of resort. A bit of a peek once more, just showing his head. Yami tries to shoot it, does fail in the end stage. 55 on clock, and Goats are spread thin throughout this half of the map, and still no commitment as of where they want to go. Smoke and set on Dan. Lambda going to hold his point quite steady. But the A push seemingly now in thought, and Goats, they're looking to commit to it, towards it quite shortly.
Just taking it slow. Smokes up. 30 seconds left, and Ox, Double Magic, op diff. Ox with the op diff. Lives up to the name here. Now Popov gets one. Yami gets another. And look at the swing from Haza. Very clean. And Ninjuki, great trigger discipline, but unfortunately, it's only going to be good for one. One player CT. The spray is controlled, and one left, but he's out of ammo. He wastes the rest of his ammo trying to prevent the bomb play, and it costs him his life.
Goats with a round back, that's good for them. Again, Dragons, even considering they're 4 rounds above, their economy doesn't certainly show it. But right now, Yami and Haza just demons, no doubt. Again, around Palace, Martin as well has always been the one to step up when needed most. Lambda there does shut him down, but this post plant, and without being in any bullets deep, not much of a resort. We're going to have ourselves a bit of a pause, technical or tactical, whatever the case. Dragons right now, they've lost that round, and it seemingly hurt them quite deeply because, look at these buys. What is happening, boys?
Yeah, I think right now the buys coming out, they didn't have the ability to really save up much. A lot of the rounds came down to, 2v1s? Right? So
yeah.
A lot of damage has been dealt to the economy. So it makes sense. And, they're not T-side. So generating money is only based off of if they get a lot of picks here. So I understand why they're running out of money. The funny thing is, though, I don't think they need it. They have an op. They have Ox. And Ox just goes for the pre-fire. Doesn't quite connect.
I like Popov trying to punish Dragons from getting overzealous. But again, the CT side has been surprisingly humble. Normally, even the most professional esports players try to read into the enemies and play aggressive around ramp or con, but nothing from it on Dragons. They're just going to stick back again. They do have pistols, so it's down to Goats to run into them.
Just taking it slow.
Not liking this, Goats. They're going to have themselves a free site because Dragons are just vacating away from it.
All right. Moving on up. Juki spots out. Actually doesn't spot anything. Smokes are going to just reappear and... His head was poking out for a second there. Oh, he sees the shots. Haza able to grab Njuki down. The op in the hands of Ox. Patient and waiting. Gets that pickup. Very important player to not have to worry about on this re-hit. Talk about the re-hit. Look at the flank here. This could be massive for this team.
Pistols in hands here. Dragons, what are we going to do? I'm hoping that Ox saves his op. I mean, Goats, this should be a round easily one for them because we can already see that the CT side has given up. Popov expecting the angle he held once. Not going to fall for his own tricks, but Yami can't win against Remind. A bit of a eye for an eye. Remind now on the 6 of one of these players. Popov, look behind you. It doesn't seem like there's going to be any swing. And Martin sadly falls to the bomb, but whatever the case, Goats have claimed their 3rd round. And Dragons, again, yes, they have those 6-3, but it would still be great for them to advance upon it. They've been kind of sitting ducks for now.
Yeah, sitting ducks, not the best amount of money. Honestly, I think it's Goats that have really figured out, okay, if we just keep hitting the B site here, we're going to have a very good time. Or sorry, the A site. And I think that's what they want to just keep on moving on with. A site's been very open for them, but now I think that they're reading, okay, maybe Dragons is going to try to stack up. Let's go for another split and fight over mid control. Overall, they're changing the playbook. They're tweaking it every round to give them the most amount of value, which I do appreciate.
100%. Very respectable. I just wonder though, Goats A side has been working out so well. I'm hoping they don't end up regretting now swapping over and cheating on A to go towards this B, because Lambda certainly has worked his ways around it. Again, just jumping in. I think Yami's going to expect it might be the one going for the first initiation, and a shot from the Deagle here is going to push them back a bit, as now Goats seemingly once more setting up for a rotation towards A, because, you know, it's been working out. Why not go there once more, and why Popov not find Zacharino?
All right, take it slow. For the shot in Juki. Finally, we see a trade for the players. Zacharino goes down, and Lambda might be able to get a very interesting angle on the high ground. Yep, there goes Yami. Remind able to just hold this site. Lambda still looking for one of these picks. Does find himself a gun. What a shot. Remind grabs one. And there's Njuki helping his team, leaving now Martin.
Poor Martin. Goats have been doing quite well 2 rounds in a row. Sadly, that streak ends right here, right now. Dragons should be good to win out this first half, but a bit of damage by Martin. At least he's putting in the work, although it matters not because Dragons still claim the round. The Rico is going to keep on rising, and the next 2 rounds, I think they should be good to confirm out at least full buys in the both of them. Goats want to make the most of it. They're going to go for a full buy. If they win this round, the next one they can fall into as well, but this one might be lost, and then Dragons stand at a certain point of being able to lock down a 9-3.
Yeah, I mean, I think we definitely see the momentum in the favor of Dragons, but again, what was the difference? Okay, Goats, very powerful A hit. Stopped going A. It just, for me, doesn't really make sense in my head. I don't understand why, but Goats, they might know better than I do. Unfortunately, 2 of them are dead, so they can't tell me.
Now, that's going to make a 3rd as well. It is just a shame because with pistols, you can only do so much, and Lambda and Juki are going to shut them down in an instant. They tried to go one way, and that one way did not work out. Goats, the buy didn't work out either, so now they're going to be able to still get themselves a bit of a decent force. Little to no utility, mostly stacked around double magic, but Dragons once more now off to a successful lead, at least one that Goats carried within map number 1.
Yeah, Goats are carrying really well here. Smokes going pretty well for this push, and Oh, come on. We do see at least a trade up coming up, but the mid spray, Zacharino uncharacteristically is not able to finish that pick. Ox here will be able to see just one person, and that's an execute. Has the crossfire from the teammate, but right behind him, Martin's double down. Leaves us in a 1v1, but Martin is low. 18 HP against Lambda, who just saw him cross. The jump wasn't there. 9-3. You called it, Puffo, as we get into the next round with a very hefty lead for Dragons. But, you know, they are seemingly a CT-sided team.
Both of them are, and I think that's respectable. I think Mirage also does favor the CT side, if not by a lot, at least by a very small margin. But it's still 9-3. It's still something that's very difficult to work around. And if you don't want to be, you know, stuck in a situation where you're just losing rounds over and over here like Goats, how about you try out Plausible Gaming's LFG network and unlock your full potential? Get yourself over towards plausible.gg, learn more over there, and of course, make sure to stop working with those randoms, get full stacks, get to pro, maybe even one day we could be casting you. But right now, this pistol here for Dragons is already looking like a golden ticket towards match point.
Ooh, Zacharino's the golden ticket holder. Charlie in the Chocolate Factory kind of guy, looking pretty solid with the double down. But Goats has to now retake a 2v3, or sorry, a 2v4, and they have a history of not having the best pistols.
Oh. Alex is giving it his best. Players just baiting him out. It seems like Double Magic has pushed himself deep. Found one. Remind falls. Martin making it possible alongside, but now crossed out, and Ox just got a coup de grace, both of you. Dragons now double digits, while Goats still remain at that 3. It's just looking horrific here by terrific by Dragons. Horrifying for Goats, considering they are pitted up against match, or rather series point on their own map.
Yeah, I mean, very, very well played. I'm looking hopefully at a turnaround for this team, as so far you're seeing the Goats just not really having that grasp over their weapon disadvantage. I mean, when you have a team that can make so much happen, Haza, I think, is the only player that I've witnessed so far today being consistent on Goats with the light buys, with the ops, with the Deagles. And if we can't see that consistency across the entire team, I think we're going to have a real struggle here. But Haza not going for a light buy, his entire team forcing, that's a FAMAS in his hands, while Double Magic, the guy who's kind of carrying right now, is going to be rocking the lighter gun of the Deagle.
A tactical timeline, I'd really start encouraging it here for Goats. Again, there's a reason that Dragons and Goats both took them in that first map. It seems like all that has fallen off ever since, but if you can work around this force buy at the CT side, maybe you can keep it going. This is going to be a last-ditch effort, because if Goats lose this round, again, Dragons are going to get themselves the privilege of very possibly reaching match point quite soon. And considering the individual plays from Zacharino, Lambda, and Ox we've seen in Juki as well, all these players have been outstanding.
They've been outstanding, and now let's see if these plays are going to help them out. Smokes are there, flashes are there, the sprays are coming through, but nothing's connecting. The defense just gets shattered. Now one in spawn will have to hold it down. You are getting rushed by Njuki. Last player in. Toll is gone. And yeah, that was an insanely fast hit. Team already rotated for it, but wow, Goats. I mean, I think we are going to be looking at a 2-0 scoreline here.
It's a shame again. Ancient, we took it to overtime. It's been that back and forth constantly. And a long map number 1, only for the exhaustion to hit Goats like a truck, a small island here, as Dragons now 8 rounds above and standing before match point, around away. Better eco, better everything you can imagine it. Dragons really just burning down Goats and looking to feast upon them in any moment.
Let's see if they're going to be able to, as you said, feast here. The Dragons, they've definitely, you know, picked off some livestock here. So looking at Goats, going for another force because they have to. Completely tucked onto the A site, have given up B wholeheartedly. And unfortunately for them, it's not going to be an A push this time.
There we go, B taken by Dragons as swiftly as that. All they needed was short, but the pistol here is going to ring for Double Magic. Can he make it too? Nope, Zacharino's there, going to deny him of it. Trying to challenge it, doesn't seem like going to go safer for the plan to window jump in here. Not overexposed, but a random spray here has dropped Martin down to his grave, 6 foot under, and Juki there with 2 of his own. A flag here and Lambda to finish things out. Dragons now 12-3, match point within their grasp, and out of the following 9 rounds that Goats need flawlessly, Dragons only a single to secure the map.
Yeah, very unfortunate setup here for this team. I mean, you're looking at a complete shutdown in our second map here. Again, Goats wanted to be here, and I don't think that's going to be this. That's not going to hold true after this game. I would be scared, and I think they are too. So getting into this next one, I am looking hopefully forward to a interesting round, but Lambda grabs Martin, and Ninjuki gets a kill fully running. Zacharino actually dies to his own molly there, but the trades are coming through. Diami, last one standing, has to make this work.
Full HP, it is a benefit. Ox, not so much, but an MP9 here, and a dream, to say the very least. Time in his favor by a bit, considering he has that case. A bit more damage to Ox, but you gotta check your cubbies and corners. With this much numbers, you certainly can't win it, and it will be Dragons more dominant than ever going into the semifinals. Ancient, not so much. Again, Goats, they are wishing they could have taken it, but coulda, woulda, shoulda. Map number 2 closed out, and the series point as well. Semifinals, round number 1 will be going towards Dragons, as we're going to be seeing them tomorrow in the grand finals.
Yeah, we are going to be looking at them moving on here, and honestly, a very solid game from these players. I cannot wait to see what is going to be happening further into these games and further with these team kind of synergies. I gotta ask, do you, Puffo, ever wonder how the best players win more games and go pro? I mean, I know that they form pre-mates and that they are in their group. They refuse to play with randoms. They need to find the best of the best. Every pro player I know goes LFT, right? And the Plausible Gaming Network is where they put those LFTs. It makes it fast and easy to find those pre-mates to enjoy your gaming. So if you want to connect with better teammates, compete in tournaments, no matter what rank you have, join one of the discords here in the Plausible LFG network today. Learn more at plausible.gg. But as for the gameplay, as for what we saw today, I'm excited to see what is happening on the other end of that bracket right now. And hopefully we're going to be taking a look at our second semifinal of the day here, Puffo.
100%, but before we get to that second semifinal, let's also ourselves as casters view the viewers, and of course maybe the players get a bit of a short break so we can refreshen ourselves up before going right back into the action. So stay tuned and we'll be right back.
You cannot stop me, I'ma make it to the top spicy. Call it coming in, not cocky. You cannot break me, this world's mine for the taking. Got an inch, man, I'm making. I'll keep my head down and grind and be patient. I'll take a stab at the top and the sailing. They can all try, but you cannot contain it. Cause I see the things that I want and I take on my goal. Push myself to the brink, no limit. Do what it takes to be free, committed. I'm a little obsessed with things, I'll admit it. But that's what it takes to get a freedom ticket. Got a killer instinct and it's just the beginning. Breaking down walls and the hurt start thinning. And the more you push it, the fast start trimming. Till you're the only one standing up straight, winning all.
No, we never sit still. It's time to stand up, time to take the red pill. To make this our world, gonna die on this hill. Be ready to fight and be ready to kill. We never give up, no, we never sit still. It's time to stand up, time to take the red pill. To make this our world, gonna die on this hill. Be ready to fight and be ready to kill.
faking. You just gotta wanna keep chasing. Put you everything you're facing. Keep up with the pace and adrenaline rush starts racing. Get through all the things you hating. Don't let the others in charge of your dreams. They just don't know what it takes to be seen. You see the ship take control of your team, and if you're alone, then a one-man army. So you better be starving, and you better be carving. Through the hate, keep marching. And every day keep charging ahead till you get what you want, what you dream. Regret is a thing of the past, and you'll see that you always had it inside. Is the key to make the most of this life believe.
No, we never sit still. It's time to stand up, time to take the red pill. To make this our world, gonna die on this hill. Be ready to fight and be ready to kill. We never give up, no, we never sit still. It's time to stand up, time to take the red pill. To make this our world, gonna die on this hill. Be ready to fight and be ready to kill. You realize deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. Let's go. Thoughts can keep you down, pushing deep until you drown, or they can keep you up strong, focused on the now. Glass half full, or has it been emptied out? Well, that's all up to you and your mind. Do you doubt anything, everything, not a thing? Make my thoughts work for me, manifest what I need, what I want, what I see. I could be anything, I attract all the things that I see. I believe I'll achieve as I breathe in and out again and again. I don't doubt, I sit and I plan, and I found out that I can execute. If I'm driven, if I listen, if I learn all the wisdom, read some books, something written, watch the best, teach a system I invest. Never hidden, I ain't scared, ain't no chicken, I take dares. I'll be
And welcome back, everybody, to the Plausible Championship Series Season 11. $1,000 is on the line here, double what we normally do. We already got done with our first semifinals with Dragons taking it in a very rough, fast, executed 2-0 style. My name's Edju. I'm with Puffo Bob here. And now we're with two new teams here, Puffo.
Yes, we are. It's going to be Looting Experience facing Miz. Earlier, for any of you that did not catch the action, Dragons faced Goats, and well, even though it was quite canon, Dragons ended up munching them up 2-0, especially in Mirage. But now it's a different set of teams. It's a different dynamic duo here, Miz and Looting Experience, but still a similar narrative. This is something I'm going to keep on pushing forward. Looting Experience, not a well-recognized team. Not as much as Miz, who do have that esports background experience, at least on Liquipedia and ... You know what I'm talking about. They've been inside of T3, while for Looting Experience, couldn't find the same. So it's an interesting situation once more, but also, Edu, we're going to see 3 more new maps.
Yeah, we're going to see a few more new maps, potentially. There is a chance that we get the exact same map vetoes. That's always possible.
Yeah.
But what we need to be looking at with these two teams is going to be this veto right here, right now. Let's find out where we're landing to see where we want to be looking at this game. So let's hop over to our map vetoes.
Let's take a look at where these gladiators are going to fight off in the arenas. First one to be banned, Nuke. My goodness, people just hate Nuke over here at Plausible Gaming. That's a shame for me, but followed by the second ban, which will be made by Looting Experience. Get the drum roll going. Come on. We want to see which one it is. There it is. Inferno's going to follow. And I guess it's one of the big three to be so considered. And it was the decider in the previous previous map pool. But once more, our opening map here will be Ancient.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy when they pick Mirage map number 2. I think that's just going to be amazing to be on the same maps over and over again, as much as Puffo Bob hates it. So do us a favor. Yep, thank you.
My
thank you
goodness.
So much. It's like I just know things. And then, of course, we're going to go with the same bans, except this time we're going to be trying to end on Dust 2. That's my thought. We want to end on Dust 2. We're going to see an Anubis ban, an Overpass ban. I'm seeing that, okay? Anubis and Overpass. That's what we're going to be banned, okay?
Anubis and Overpass? Okay. Overpass is gone. Now just Anubis to follow it. And, well, it certainly got close. It got real close, but Anubis will end up as our decider. And I'm quite excited to see it. I'm hoping to see Anubis, but more so how these two teams are going to differ to what we saw between Dragons and Goats going on Ancient and Mirage. Again, like Edu mentioned, Ancient and Mirage are quite favored maps here towards Plausible Gaming, and reasonably so. Again, I think they're very confronting maps, especially when you're going towards best of threes. You want to get something you're used to, not something like Nuke, which you maybe don't play a lot. And, well, Ancient and Mirage, I think they sit in a good, healthy spot for that exactly.
Yeah, I think that we're looking at a pretty healthy map pick for these two teams. As we know, one team competes a lot in Tier 3. Another team, a plausible community team that is built up thanks to our LFG, thanks to our Discord. And if you guys don't know, you can join it right now if you go to plausible.gg to maybe make a team that can compete against these Tier 3 teams. If you think, oh, Tier 3, that's nothing, I only watch Tier 1, prove it with gameplay. Prove it as a player. That's what I like to tell my team. So head on over to plausible.gg, make a team, join up for Season 12. We'll be starting shortly. And of course, for today's game, we are going to be starting shortly with this first map of Ancient, which we just witnessed is a map of mid-control. It's a map of aggression, and it's a map where it kind of defines how this team wants to set up.
100%. And again, we can build up that same collective narrative of, oh yeah, utility matters a lot, ramp does as well, mid does as well. I think we're just gonna sound like broken disc records, because Ancient, it's Ancient. We all know it. I think it's, again, been growing on to people more and more as CS2 has been evolving, but more so it's down to how Miz are going to play it, because again, they do have that competitive background behind it. As for the side of Looting Experience, we haven't seen that type of highlight from them, so again, it's kind of a hidden gem of a team up against someone we recognize more so through their statistics and background. Once more, legacy versus ambition. Who's going to take it? We don't know, because Goats were also a team that didn't really have that large organization to back them up, but put a pretty goddamn good fight against Dragons.
Yeah, I mean, Goats definitely came out very strong on this map. So again, Ancient, I've seen a trend here. Ancient is a map where if a team picks it, usually it's not the team to win it. Dragons actually turn that around here. So overall, I think that Ancient is going to be, as you kind of said it, a map of, you know, expectations are pretty high for people to, you know, come out swinging. I kind of want that. So if we are going to be seeing this, I'm very excited to see the game beginning shortly. But, you know, we can talk about all of the map vetoes. We could talk a little bit about our second map, which is Mirage, which we just watched. So it's a little bit more fresh in our minds right now, isn't it? So honestly, I think with a map like Mirage, what I need to see from these teams is going to be the ability to lock these players down. You know, overall, we saw a lot of very aggressive plays that worked beautifully in Dragon's hands, right? So that aggression on T side, I want to see emulated from these two teams here in the semifinals now. I want to see them being able to be very aggressive and also get rewarded for it, you know, for rushing through smokes, flashing out as a team. The team synergy is what matters most here at Plausible Gaming. And here at the PGCS, it's what we anticipate the most.
100%. It's also down to commitment. As we saw, there was a bit of a mistake that Goats did. They weren't fully committed most of the time. They tried to go for B. They said, we lose a player or two, then we're going to go towards A. Already 2 down, and then going up against a fully stacked team. We saw what the result of that was mostly. A 13-3, sadly. And that's why we're hoping that Mirage is going to last us a bit longer than just 16 rounds. As again, this is where I also want to bring back the topic of Miz having competitive experience. This is a best of 3. All these teams have been getting used to running best of 1s through the entire entirety of the past 3 days this season has been ongoing for. And well, if the longevity of energy from looting experience will not persist, maybe they're going to start already showing a bit of mistakes, more mistakes towards Mirage, and even the Decider Anubis if we end up getting to it. As for Miz, they already have that longevity built into the system by simply just playing competitive, because that is a completely different experience, and yeah, it's already shown here on Plausible Gaming.
Yeah, already showing up and already getting ready to get into this game. I'm very excited to hopefully see Ancient kind of tweak things a little bit. Overall, with these two teams, we talked about where they were on the bracket here. I'm going to pull open the games here. I'm going to talk a little bit about our bracket for these guys. What we saw really coming out from looting experiences, they actually did a very solid job against Empire. We were able to see them get taken down. We also have our reigning champions a lot of the time here at Plausible Gaming not returning this time, and a lot of that is because some of these teams, these best of ones in this early bracket, kind of shut them down early. So I'm pretty happy to see some new faces here, but M1Z, they took out Xglow and Why Not. They took out Sinemi. They got Echo Reaper. And then you look on over at what we saw from Looting Experience. They actually had a pretty solid run as well, taking out Team Triple, taking out GG Arena. Pretty solid team, taking out Empires.
100%, but now, as we've already described all these teams, as we've seen what maps are there to be, let's head into the first map, Ancient, as the game is ready to go. The action is ready to be unsettled, and well, Ancient, we've seen it once before, we're going to see it one more time here today, potentially even in the grand final tomorrow, but keep in mind, this is a ticket to those grand finals for both these teams, and they want to make sure that the semis are not where they drop out just yet.
All right, we're seeing a very A-sided push here, while the CTs have completely taken over mid, and yeah, this is actually going to be very scary here for Looting Experience, who is walking into a donut space, but at the end of the day, Ancient just gets let me cry. One shot down, living up to the map name, but getting a shot to the back of the head. Petro is able to get taken down. Petro were, and another one here. Somehow able to grab that, and Looting Experience. Very happy so far, so good. But what? How many shots through smokes?
Somehow does it. Somehow he does it. And Miz are now going to, just through random occurrences and a bit of a fluke, find themselves around that end state, certainly questioning. But hey, Patroller, he did his best. He found himself 2-3 kills and somehow only needed to deliver a single random tap by that USB through the smoke. With the connection done now, an opening round for the CT side as they're going to get a hugely advanced buy comparing to what Looting Experience are willing to invest into this round. A force doesn't seem feasible, so they're just going to rush it down A main with pistols in hands and hopes and dreams.
Hopes and dreams is all you need here, and maybe a little bit more against M1Z, who Petro were getting a double down now. Copycat trying to keep up that momentum, gets it pushed back, but what a shot! Deagles, deep distance Deagles, defeating, and now denying Semblance this clutch up here. What? Maybe not. Running, gunning, dinking, and will be finally shut down by another MP9.
Sadly so. Miz keep 2 players alive. Decent guns going into the next round. A bit of an investment will still be forced from them, but mostly so by Looting Experience, so they're going to be able to be good for the full buy. Now, Petro here is going to be certainly that type of anchor, already showing a lot, and I mean a lot of giftness in the very early stage of this map. I mean, he's been doing good for himself.
Yeah, I mean, very good, very solid of a start here, but again, mid control, fire out, lots of damage taken by Petro, but at the end of the day, he's trading it. This spot is so important to keep for his team, and they're looking for any potential boost spot at the top of the smoke. That's an interesting read, and Ancient wants to now push us on up, finding that opportunity to just punch on through. We do see the gun. Oh, just barely misses. Oh, come on somehow. Somehow he does it again.
Somehow he does it again. Copycat. Not going to get away with his life standing. Pat Yu playing a ring around the rosy, only to take a slither of damage. Backs off, tries to waste time. Ancient in the meanwhile going to find somehow, but Petro, after that refrag, a simple lance turns in his now 3v4. a difficult spot here, but Miz should be able to handle it quite well with the numbers advantage. They have one player around Temple. Swing here by Ancient, and he's going to win both of his initiations. This has somehow turned the tides here in the favor of Looting Experience, as Miz, I don't think they're comfortable enough to win this one out. Ancient with his third already. And just unstoppable, a force that cannot be reckoned with. In the meanwhile, I do want to mention that Looting Experience have 2 players with the same name. So we have 2 Petrors inside this lobby, one of which will fall as the last.
Well, let's hope it's the better ones that pop off on top. Yeah, that might be a little bit of a misinput here, because one is also missing their profile. So very interesting. But you know what? That just means that this one player, technically 2 now, splits himself in half just to pop off both times. I'd like to headcanon it that Petro here is actually one guy on 2 different PCs and he's constantly just like jumping between laptops or something.
That would be pretty epic. That would be actually really meta from him. A one-man player does the job of 2. Well, he's certainly off to a good beginning here because Patio is going to feel his wrath. Opening towards the down mid, the CT side already finding succession. Again, if they want to keep themselves a round or 2 above, Miz, perfect spot for him somehow here. He always manages to surprise us.
Yeah, somehow always managing. And now let's see if Strauss is going to be able to make some space. Looting Experience wants to keep this going. Wait, MIZ is actually, we swapped the sides. So it's actually MIZ who's down. Looting Experience looking pretty solid here. Funny story about Petro. He is a part of a lot of the people over at Plausible that look for these pug teams, and Semblance gets that pickup down. Strauss needs to keep up that momentum. There we go. And Looting Experience running and dead. MIZ will be taking it. Very interesting to see the back and forth here between who's on what's on first. Double Petro. Very interesting game.
Very interesting game. It's already a lot of nuance, to say the very least, but what matters is that Miz have caught up now to Looting Experience quite shortly before Looting could get themselves way ahead before now again Semblance, an absolute dominance of a player here, already showing a lot of strength going into this one alongside Ancient and Shraz. Now going to get themselves deep. Copycat, well blinded, Let Me Cry is sadly going to fall. Copycat gets himself another opportunity. This allows Miz to use the pressure that has been reburst around this A main side to swing themselves deeply into it. And Petro, as long as one of the 2 twins can persist, Miz are going to take him down, and 3-2 now lead back in order of the T side.
All right. Kind of interesting game that we're seeing here so far. A lot of back and forth between them, but so far it is favoring rifle rounds for MIZ. And if MIZ is able to keep that going, I think it's going to be pretty good. If we can, though, you do need, if you're the CT side, to stop giving up so much of the site space that we're seeing happening on B site. Like, B should not be as open as it has been.
100%. And again, we have to consider that this is all made possible thanks to the Plausible LFG network. So if you want to unlock your potential, if you want to remove those queue times and all the toxicity, check out more at plausible.gg. Get yourself involved and build a stack that might just be the next big T1 team. In the meanwhile, though, somehow is holding down the angle. The Copycat is going to have to eat the blood of, but Patio finding one from the Petro randomly through the smokes. The amount of shots we've had, those, is incredible. Semblance picking up Petro, the second one of the round now to fall. It's quite ironic, as now that dynamic duo is out. The op misses, and Semblance is going to capitalize upon it.
Yeah, Semblance very consistent so far in these past couple of rounds to catch himself up, as well as just shut these players back. And of course, 3-2, 2-3, you're looking at a good setback for this team. Planting the bomb, it is going to be MIZ again, just taking a very fast B site. I think this is going to lead towards the save side. They have no money, literally $0.
And a bang for their buck to keep themselves going, and it's honestly quite sad to see, but Miz, I doubt they're complaining about it. They are still trying to hunt some of these down, hoping that Looting Experience get aggressive around this post plan, but it's not going to happen again. Looting, they want to keep those guns going into the next round. They know no one's going to be able to afford, so if they can at least pop off a couple of kills and allow their teammates to pick up guns from the dead corpses of Miz, it certainly is a good oversight to look forward to. However, the bomb is down. Time has run out. Trolls are hunting down one more, as now they've spotted out where currently Looting Experience remain. Will they take the challenge? No.
Unfortunate. And a decent buy coming up from looting experience again. Remember, rifle rounds is what made MIC very favored here. So hopefully we can see another turnaround here for looting experience where maybe it's not just about the rifle rounds, maybe it's the position. This 3-stack from mid, splitting them up, it's looking pretty good, but the push from Let Me Cry will get traded out. Somehow on fire, somehow burning down, and trades. Enough. Pat, you right around the corner. What a nade. All right. We are going to see the rotate. Pat, you just completely pushed up in mid.
Feeling a bit adventurous, are we, Palio? Well, he's gotten himself the bottleneck for looting experience if he pushes deeper towards this skirmish around B. Could be a tide turner. Again, he needs to make the first move, though, because currently Miz are lacking player count-wise, and with 1 minute remaining, the T-side still need to be the ones describing where the action is set on down. Pat Yu making that first one, but missed shots there as it's just a heartache. He's going to back off. The challenge is taken most the first one. The second challenge goes lost, and Sikav is going to shut him down, but this allows Ancient to nicely sneak on in towards an open B side. That looting experience have no position whereabouts of the information.
His name is Ancient. He's on Ancient, and he's swinging. Now let's see if his reaction time is Ancient. It is as well. Trozor getting the pick down, and Sick AF, wonderful hold in mid. 3-4 now, as you're looking at Miz lose their spree. Looting experience definitely needed to keep it this round to keep that, 1 round deficit at most. Again, though, it is a CT-sided map, so Miz technically has already won this half. In my humble opinion, you only need 4 to have a very successful CT side.
I have to see. I mean, Miz right now not up to a bad beginning. We did see what Goats were able to do, and Dragons. So, again, if we are to compare it, certainly so, these 4 rounds should be enough. But, hey, different teams might differ in results as well. Currently, though, the ecos on both sides are quite equal. As for now, Straz is going to find Let Me Cry. Gonna leave him in a corner, do his thing. Another swing here, and Copycat's just holding down Trozor in a bit of a lock as somehow pushes himself deeper, finding Straz, who's already been fatally injured at that point. A freebie for the taking. In the meanwhile, though, looting experience, keeping themselves, I mean, look at how humble they are. They're trying to play it safe, but it goes against them. Petror wanting to not back up, but Ancient's gonna catch him off guard, and Sikav, he began the round. He's gonna need to finish it.
Oh, great trigger discipline. No idea. Going directly from where his teammate just cleared. They might assume that mid is going to get pushed. So now, unfortunately, he's lost the timing here. It's a very common place to link up with. So Sick AF might just have to go for exit frags. I mean, he's on CT. He has armor. He has defuse kit, smoke, AK. It's a perfect save if he can get 1 pick.
At least that one for the bare minimum. So, looting experience can start licking up their wounds. But round count wise, we still have to give commiserations towards Miz, because we have to consider they won 4 rounds in a row earlier. It doesn't seem like this one last one is going to stop them. Right back on the streak. 3-5 now, lead still back for them. And again, this T side, the more rounds you can claim, the stronger you're going to be looking going into the second half. And it's already a redeeming factor by the amount they've gained. The more they do so, it's going to get dangerous and maybe even inevitable for looting experience.
I mean, inevitable is a pretty bold statement here. I think that
I'm gonna back it. I think the CT side for Miz, if they go 6-6, I think it might already be over.
All right. I mean, that's a bold take there, Cotton. Let's see if it's gonna work. Petro now pushing on up. Okay, so it looks like we had Petro and Sick AF doubling up their names. So good restart there, but somehow inching on up. Looking to maybe, just maybe, find an opening pick for their team. But overall, looting experience, you say inevitable loss if they can't clutch this round. And right now, it looks like their push is not inevitable. They are being very patient. They've burned half of the bomb timer. Finally, Trozor now running onto site. Might be able to find some of these openings.
broken through the first line of defense. Let me cry, gonna find Simulants. Copy a cat in return, but it's still bloodshed now in the favor of Looting Experience as they leave it down to Shraz to handle it all by himself. And AK low HP finds the first one. Defuse coming around, has no kit, but Shraz just keeps on spraying, and Trozor will eat the bullets.
Okay, all right. Looting Experience is now getting the experience of being looted. I mean, they are getting robbed from every angle here, trying to just go for these re-hits. They had the smokes on, they had it, but they just couldn't clutch up in a 1v3. Straz, beautifully played. Now, this 6 rounds half, already won here as, unfortunately, CTs are a little broke, and Ancient, tucking himself in, has been eating grenades for lunch right now.
I mean, Miz riding the wave. Ancient, like you mentioned, a bit low on HP, but not going to discourage him from being that spearhead as always needed. At the moment, though, Looting not playing aggressive, but again, they might need to considering the guns they have. It's not really... You get to see commonly MP9s, MP7s, or such, and pistols playing on the back line like you normally would with AKs. They have to be up in the face of Miz, who are expecting that type of play style, even throwing utility into bare nothingness. However, though, I can respect Looting Experience for trying to play the mind games.
I can respect it as well. I think that they definitely have what it takes to lock this in, and the mind game so far has been burning the clock. But, oh, hello, that's one player. He's kind of getting baited into 4. What a shot from somehow. The fire, the flash, the burn. It's too much, but Strauss is barely able to escape the molly. And the 5-7 from Sick AF. That was Sick AF, buddy. Now leaving us in a 1v2.
Just tailing behind these final 2. Similar situation here for Ancient as it was passed down to his comrade in the previous round. Sikaf and Petro are, though, a bit of a difficult position. Not for them, though. Ancient 12 on HP, up close against an MP9. Double swing and coming around. Can he protect it? Nope. Caught off guard in the round here for Looting Experience. They can reclaim it. It's a good one considering they didn't have the buys that Miz did, and certainly by the end stage, they played it really well. Miz kind of relied on one man to do the entirety of the job. Top of ramp, swinging in, finding the transfer on to 2. But again, the pistols still rang out louder.
Yeah, very solid rounds there. I mean, that's the kind of eco that you need. A 6-6 half, definitely doable. I don't think that's an inevitable death. I think that what they need to do is just showcase how good their attack can be. And honestly, we could see that get tied up. But now the chance that they don't tie this up, I think is the big fear factor for this team.
Well, Trozor wanting to be somehow for those random shots. Petror, he's found himself 3. I don't know if it's any of the 2 from them, but Trozor there with that 3rd, and well, it doesn't seem like Miz is going to get any further from this point on inside the round. Real good performance there, just pushing up deep and Looting Experience. Only now finding out how Ancient tends to play in the favor of who. But Simulants, he's getting flashed, he's getting swung, and there it is. The end of the round is near.
All right. Not bad. MIZ, I think they do have just enough money to buy up for this final round. A little bit of a force here. Overall, though, I think they need to start re-hitting that A site. B is a little scary for them. The stack on B, it's not easy, but A, you take Donut, you have A. That's how easy A could be. So a called timeout here to try to get this to 7-5. Miz trying to break through the read here. Overall, though, I'm also looking at some of the weapon pickups now that Looting Experience has finally figured out their cash flow. It's an op in the hands of somehow who has been doing some crazy stuff through smokes, now has to do it with an op in hand.
I've started missing those. Random smoke shots, I'll be completely honest. So I would prefer him on an AK, but I think he can just work his magic about as well on that op. Nonetheless, though, a tactical timeout here. Haven't seen that one just yet, but it's certainly respectable. Again, you want to take a bit of a breather. This is the semifinal, and claiming map number 1 and delivering the pressure of series point onto your opponent is a huge advantage.
Yeah, big advantages change things quite well. Overall, though, I am looking at the smokes, the nades, everything in their hands to really lock this down. We are seeing mollies out. Smokes, flashes, everything that you could really want to slow this team down in the middle. Petra, his life is critical, and Sick AF through the smoke, one taps Ancient, and this is where Petro is going to start inching on up and executes. There goes Copycat. Now bomb is on the ground.
It's not a spot you want to find yourselves in. Miz Simbalance off the board as well, and somehow going to prove that he's the opera of this team. Now, Patty and Straz trying to do their best. Actually, Patty is going to play with his food for a bit. Pass on through into top mid. This might be huge for him if goes unchecked. Straz as well around catwalk, playing it safe. Both these Miz players are. The amount of potential they have to work around this 2v5 might be incredible. There's one. Second one for the taking a whack-a-mole, but if only Straz could do his part. It's left on the shoulders of Pat to find an ace, or it's a 6-6 split for Miz.
Trying to shoot, trying to just get that pick. Oh, not quite. Grabs it, runs up.
No.
Takes out the opper, knows he's getting flanked.
No.
180s, gets another one, grabs the bomb. Hold up, 10 HP, let me cry. He might have to cry after this. We do get the bomb plant. And now, let me cry. 1v1. Pat Yu wanting to end this round in style. Might just go for these clutches. But this is my reminder to you. If you want plays like that, head on over to plausible.gg to find your group. You can't make a play like this if you don't have someone to build you up. So make sure that you check them out right now, and you can join our network to hopefully find your team for the next season of Plausible's Counter-Strike series.
Miz love shooting through the smoke, and Pat Yu is going to commit to it. One bullet, he needs it. The defuse is coming around. Aim a bit higher. There it is. The recoil will support Pat Yu. The magnum opus was needed. An ace required, and this is the man to do the job. 7-5 here for Miz as they go towards the CT side. And my God, what a nail-biting experience that must have been for the rest of Miz.
Yeah, just absolutely nail-biting. And, of course, Miz knowing to trust Pat Yu, knowing to trust their team, definitely is going into this next half with a very solid just attitude. You know, morale wins games, and I think their morale is ready to really lock this in. So let's hope. Let's pray. Let's see what they're going to be doing here. As the side switch, there is a chance that Miz is so good on the attack side T because they have a weak-sided CT. There's a chance for that. So we'll have to wait and find out.
That is true. You know, I am still very confident that I think Miz should have enough leniency going towards the CT because it's ancient. I've always been, you know, it's kind of like a day one thing where you're constantly taught this one thing and then you refuse to not believe it. And this is what's been taught to me. CT is reigning supreme here on this map. And Straz is going to show off why. Pat Yu as well. Head taps with the USPs are unrelenting, but Sikaf can always bite back, and that's what matters most. Looting experience, individuals here are going to matter most in the pistol, and it's down to pure gunfights and brute force that gets overtaken by Miz as two players stand tall, and it is an 8-5 heading into the second half.
8-5. Looking pretty solid here. I gotta say, I gotta hand it to him. Miz, very well played all around the board here. Now looking at a potential for this real comeback. I'm thinking that maybe looting experience, just maybe, is going to be able to go for a, I'd say eco. You know, they're splitting, but again, they're leaning towards B. And I know I kind of spit on B side a lot, but there's a reason for it. It's a tough place to push.
100%. Again, you have two directions where people just love sending mollies, nades, smokes, all alike. And of course, pushing up deep like Miz are right now with MP9s close on this gate. It's going to be an absolute hellhole to get through, especially with pistols. Sikaf is going to need to make some sort of catalyst work around it. Otherwise, it's going to be astronomical here for Ancient. He's going to find the opening. Is there going to be another one to follow through the gate? Yes, they're certainly showing themselves. Let Me Cry is low on HP. Petrol is going to fall elsewhere. Another swing just to reveal two players, and Ancient cannot stop. Now a secondary in hand. He's looking to close this round off by himself. Trozer, a last victim, and it will be by the hands of Ancient that he falls.
Okay. I mean, yeah, eco rounds just shredding them through. Miz now proving that the CT side also favors them, not only the T side. Yeah, you know, you use the word inevitable. Now, I'd say I agree with you, but that last run was a save. And now it's the buy round. So there's a chance that we could see some rifle rounds changing up the pace of things, especially against 3 MP9s and a FAMAS. I mean, there's a chance. A small one, but there's a chance.
I think there's a chance. It's just down to how looting experience play it. And, well, Copycat is going to make it a bit of a grim beginning, but it's always Sikaf who you can rely upon to find that double back and a dip upon towards a swing here. Goes both ways. Pat Yu is going to get himself traded, and prior to it now, Let Me Cry. Can he make it work for once? No, somehow can on the other hand. And now Ancient, all of a sudden, he's been a hero before. Can he wear that cape once more?
All right. Ancient on a very glorious flank here. Remember, it's their bonus round. The goal is to try to make as much money as possible, but checking your corners makes it a lot easier. That's going to be a big pickup there, and not too bad. They lost 2, almost got somehow 2 as well, but at the end of the day, it is a bonus versus rifles. So this is where you're going to be looking at MIZ going with their own rifles, and that can completely shift this back in their favor.
You know, as much as I did say it was inevitable, never underestimate the power of comebacks and pressure, as pressure is what molds diamonds and has them shine the brightest. Exactly what we can expect from Looting Experience, and these nades, quite brutal, somehow is going to take a bit of damage here. But Looting Experience, a slap on the wrist at the very best, as Miz now certainly not too encouraged to push as deep as they did earlier towards this A main. It's only going to be Straz holding it back with utility and low, and then, oh, now he's stepping back. Hopefully he doesn't leave this A side for the taking.
Yeah, don't want to, give it up too much, but at the end of the day, playing from Donut is the way to give it up some space. But mollied off now, pushing back into the team. You are getting cut off, and Pat, you being able to grab the flanker going up mid. You do see Straz having to anchor kind of solo. His team smoked off, mollied off. The nade does a decent chunk of damage. Trozer, Let Me Cry, and Sick AF are all real low now, and Simulants wanting to just inch on up. Looks to try to break through. Straz, uncharacteristic with the spray, unfortunately allows for a trade here, and this could be the game, not having Straz there.
Oh, it's gotten rough. 3 players here from Looting Experience, low on HP, and now 2 are willing to fight it, but Trozer is going to keep it all for the hands of Looting Experience. Pat and you going to back up. It can hand, even though they've been considerably taking this match away. The AK still is a very worthy asset, and what an expectation by Trozer. Gonna read Pat you like a book, turn it to the next page as we're heading into a 9-7 split. And well, that was certainly unexpected, but it's quite ironic. I don't think I've seen once that Let Me Cry has been over 50 HP. Poor guy.
Yeah, poor guy, not able to do too much here. It's gonna be pretty scary. I think that now getting into this next round, you do have, of course, a very light buy, aka a full save. No one's buying anything here. So the goal, stack up, punish someone, be able to really lock this in, but at the end of the day, that op in somehow's hand cost their team a lot of money. You get rid of that op, and that's all you have to do. This is a 1 round for Miz.
The great tower of Pisa here by Looting Experience. Nicely stacked up in a corner. You can't really blame them. Seems quite cozy, I'll be honest. Quite jealous myself that I'm not in it. But again, if anyone dares swing into this, they're going to get met with an unexpected surprise of 4 players and USPs. Damnation in mind as well. Pat, you as well, just helping them hold it from the top of mid so they can focus around ramp and set their priorities straight. However, though, Looting Experience, a free round passed down onto them, and, well, it seems like that inevitable result might not be as inevitable as I thought.
Just being patient. They've given up A, and oh no, Petro just gave up an AK in the hands of Pat you. We've seen what this guy could do with that. Oh no, this could be a complete turnaround here. Puffo, I'm a little scared for these teams now.
Plan's going down only now. Trozer going to equalize things out as Pat you with the second inside this round. But an op does seemingly provide more comfortability than a USP, which is fair to say. As Miz, even though they didn't necessarily win the round nor the war, the battle is still going to be theirs as they walk away with 2 AKs in their pockets.
Yeah, honestly, great round. The fact that anybody was able to get taken out there by a full save pistol only, like that's not ideal. That's not the expectation that you would have for this team, but here we are. And now somehow able to save. Not too shabby about that, but AKs for defense. I think Miz is looking pretty happy about this. They might be able to guarantee second half.
There you go. Very possibly so. Maybe even an overtake. I think Miz and the majority of this matchup have been forcing Looting Experience into their own shadow. As now the dethrone is very possible, is only a round away from neutralizing that deficit. A scary point to currently stand on if you're Miz, because you do realize if this round is not Miz's, oh, they're going to have hell to pay.
Tied up, definitely not getting here for Miz. And now pushing on up, we are seeing this Shots fired. Straw is able to get one. Pat Yu going down earlier than normal. We're seeing Semblance. 1. Spray. 3, 4. Oh my God. Copycat helping him out, but Miz off the back of Semblance. Call an ambulance. They just cooked.
Holy! Who needs a 5-star meal when you've got Miz behind the counter? That is incredible. I mean, Semblance. Jesus. That is unrelenting. Looting Experience had no answer for it. They set their tunnel, they tunnel visioned onto something completely else, and that allowed them to get away with absolute murder. As it's an entire round just done in by one player like we saw it earlier, but I believe that was Pat Yu who also clutched up with an ace. Miz have some real rockers in their roster right now, and well, if Looting Experience do underestimate them, the results have already shown that what happens.
Ooh, nice. And now somehow, while blind, gets 2. Okay. This guy, he's so good, but can he be the solo player keeping his team alive, keeping them afloat? That's the real question. As right now, what we're looking at here is going to be a 3-4. However, somehow 12 HP can be punished here. Sick AF though, just has to be patient.
Oh yeah. It's gonna have to hurt for a bit. 3v2. Looting Experience looking good. HP-wise, not so much, though. Somehow is a single bullet away from death, but the position he currently holds is going to allow the T-side to transfer over towards this A that has been, again, open for the taking. Miz are going to rotate before Looting Experience have themselves the privilege of getting an easy plant down. That donut position, though, it is captivating, and as long as you hold it for yourself, might even be round changing. Pat Yu around Temple. Is there going to be a molly towards him? No, I think the utility lacks right now for the T-side. You're going to try to challenge it out. You find that win. Let me Cry shuts down Pat Yu, but Straz still stands, and that's what matters most.
Yeah, still standing very tall here, looking extra clean. Straws 1v2. He's done 1v3s, but can he do it with ease? Walking on up. Spots the bomb. Teammates give the comm. Just rotate. You're not going to be able to push this in. And yeah, save that gun. Save the AK. Makes sense for me. Makes sense for them. I think they're going to be able to now just walk away from a pretty successful round overall.
Nothing to complain about. They're not going to allow Miz to run away with a very, very captivating score once more. But at least they're starting to catch up, and that's what matters here for Looting Experience. Even though the result was still a bit grim, again, 2 players only to remain, and even then, Miz were still closing in towards it. It's the safe plays by Miz that I heavily respect. Again, Straz is going to keep that AK, so he can allow the rest of the team to buy more heavily into it, especially utility-wise. Again, the CT side heavily relies on utility because, you know, you throw down a couple of mollies, a couple of smokes, a minute passes on by, and that pressure by the clock alone sets itself into the T side quite heavily.
Yep. Set up, knock him down. That's the strat. That's the play. That's the game plan here. But so close. Ancient's just bringing us a lot of close gameplay, but Semblance doesn't want that. Let Me Cry is gone, and Ancient running out on the eco gets traded by a molly here, and they have weapon advantage again. Ancient, good light buy.
Not a sliver of sound coming through. Molly there by Looting Experience, was it? Not setting up for any easier of a take towards this cave side, but they're already inside of it. One's going to show himself and cornered. Petro going to have to force a bit of damage to himself. 31. Not comforting for any future gunfights, but somehow this entry is made by him. Now the rest of the team can follow in tally. It's down to how Miz takes some of these gunfights. You have a bit more of that utility. It would be a shame not to put a nade or two to the use. Semblance, I'm looking at you. A push here by Petro is going to find Straz. Huge kill for the backside of this B, as Miz now relying on their final 2. And the plant, Looting Experience, we need to set it on down. But one's around wrap, and Semblance is going to catch somehow. Now that's the major point you need to take care of. Again, bomb not in your hands, at least not to comfortably set on down. Smoke is going to be there just to keep yourself more safe, but random spray? No.
No such thing as random with this team. I mean, they are using their game sense beautifully. Pat Yu, though. Yeah, see? No such thing as random. Semblance right through, grabs Petro down. Trozor now alone. Does have the HP to try to 1v2, but the problem, he has no utility. He has to rely on spotting out one.
Oh, you can't do this to us.
Okay. Trozor, good clutch there. Took a decent chunk of damage, but looting experience has tied us up.
There we go. Really solid, actually, again. And now look at Miz. They're going to lose this round. If they do end up doing so, their economy is going to shift for the worse, and that's going to give a huge opportunity towards looting experience. These opening frags somehow really made a change here, and so did Petror again. It's playing against Miz, who I would say are scared to push into looting experience. It's that confidence that's been dropping over time that I feel it might be the end of them.
Yeah, could be the end of them. Could be the start of looting experience to really turn this back around for them. And now you are looking at, again, those confidence sprays coming out this time from the T side. And 1 for 2. Copycat has to run away incredibly low. Smoked off right in time, but will not be punished anymore.
And without Semblance in the account, it seems like both these teams stand on even footing. Oh, what a shot by Sikaf. He's going to expect Pat to use flank. And again, Miz, there is confidence, but there's also overconfidence. You should have brought more into it in the previous round. Now it's a bit too late because you have lost the majority of your players. Looting experience still standing one above, and HP-wise, they're certainly looking better. Final 2 CT players getting, well, ambitious, and I think they're just going to run themselves into imminent death. Well, but for now, looting experience are the ones waiting for them. This is very ironic considering that the T players and have B side left for both these sides just for the taking. Oh no, Miz are going in the wrong way.
Yeah, going in the wrong way. But I mean, letting looting experience take the lead on you is not ideal. But at the same time, I also can blame Puffo Bob for this one. This guy
Get out of here.
Inevitable caster
Get
curse.
out of here.
Just saying, caster cursing it in 2026. But we will see the plant now. Miz knows that the plant is online, will opt to go for another save, and kind of feels like we're on Inferno with the amount of times the CTs are saving.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is very reminiscent of Inferno. Well, at least Miz getting themselves 2 decent guns to carry into the next round, but if that's not going to be enough to keep them going, looting experience, again, that inevitability has dropped down to, or rather has risen up to an opportunity to take over map number 1, which I do believe this is going to be Miz's pick as well, so a real shame here, but looting experience, like we previously stated, another team that doesn't have the background, doesn't have the stats, but still certainly the mechanics to stand up against a team with esports experience.
Well, looting experience has esports experience. Petro War somehow let me cry. These are all players on a team that, yes, maybe not be a well-known team name because it's a pug team. You know, a bunch of these tier 3 pro players are now grouping up and just they're going for what we see a lot happen in other scenes of the game is you don't have to be signed to an org to drop org level numbers. And now looting experience, remember, this is going to be a tough one because they're one away from match point advantage, and the flash comes out. Great nade. Oh, Pat, you timing. Beautiful team synergy from us today. And if you guys want to see more of those kind of team synergy plays in your own games, make sure to check out plausible.gg, join our LFT, find a stack that can pop off like this.
Oh, it's down to Shraz. He's going to be the only pillar holding down or backing around this A push. The MP9, it's up close. Finds a Jenkin as well, let me cry. Sadly, he's going to get set to rest. As for looting experience, what's this under commitment? There we go, Sikav. Stick to your roots. Pat, you does end up falling. And again, with Simbalance on low HP, this is still we're playing with our food, though. Even though you've dropped down Trozor to low amounts of HP, he's going to stick himself around this A main side while the rest of his team try to check their 6, make sure no flanks are incoming, but one inbound around mid, a second one close catwalk here, and looting experience just unsure what they want to hold and prioritize.
Just be patient. Just be patient. Keep being patient. You'll be pretty happy.
Why? Why are we doing
Ancient.
this? Why is he doing this?
So it's a bait. If he knows that he doesn't have the weapon advantage there, but if he could try to just bait him, hey, I'm over here, and they push him, that's an execution with the MP9. But talk about executed with an MP9 in hand. Straws is down. Sick AF, great entry, but Semblance, 5 HP, cannot really fight with their team. And Ancient proves why the MP7 is a good enough gun. They are now on the board here. Nades on out. Spots one pushing up. And where you looking, Semblance is able to get all of that space taken by Ancient.
Yeah, I'm not liking that move from Petro. He has the bomb, yet he's going alone into Temple to try and clear out players' ghosts that were not there, as a matter of fact. Yes, it's face checking because you have no information, but by the end stage, the bomb getting set on down with 20 seconds, 10 seconds remaining should be your main objective, especially when the enemy team are kind of allowing you to get away with it. 11-11, it's back to equal standing. Mids, they've won themselves around, and look at looting experience. They've been hit hard economically by that loss.
Yeah, very tough. The economic disadvantage for this team is now going to be continuing onward, and looting experience on the attack against a CT-sided map. They do have 3 rifles, and really that's all they've needed so far. Let me cry, 7 and 16. I think that really, he's crying right now because he's being used as bait.
Oh, Ancient, don't do it to him. Somehow, he's one for the taken. Spray transfer will not be there, but it's always a backup. Let me cry finds it, and all of a sudden, Miz's aggression has gone heavily against them. Looting experience now with 3 players charging, or at least one of them charging into a, my mistake, B. It's going to be Petro trying to once more cover this backside. The Molly denies him, but it goes both ways. Straz is going to get pushed back for another step, and the final 2 players, unsure how they want to take this, because again, match point is on the line. It's all or nothing. A swing from the left, the flash saves you for now, but I don't think those second chances are always going to be there to pat you on the back.
Oh, Straws, great pick there. Tied us up. Timing, spot the body, but oh, the flash saves him. Petro able to go off the teamwork from Sick AF. Straws knows this is for match advantage. Grabs the AK. They are opting to try for overtime here, and looting experience will be taking a fairly sizable lead going into this next round.
100%. A bit of lackluster teamwork here. I mean, we saw both these players at the very end from Miz go around the backside, let's say block, but Straz didn't really overcommit to go for the refrag. He had a really nice lineup when both of the final players from looting experience, if he would have committed to that left-hand side incoming from the city spawn, but it wasn't done. He just backed off, went for the save, and sadly a missed opportunity to claim match point, possibly there, but hey, at least you keep a better going for the next round, as right now, Miz, it's adapt or die.
Adapt or die. The answer might be die. Ancient double kill down. Very clean from this team, and now they're going to be going right on into it. A nade coming on out. Semblance will have to rotate with the team. They have a really solid flank. If Straws can keep up that momentum Ancient gave him, and that's going to do it. Trozor is good for 1. What? Can we see Petro crossfire be enough?
Miz are really setting themselves up for a 1-line push. Maybe a bit of presence around ramp wouldn't hurt, but 2 players now, time ticking. We're halfway down through the bomb, but again, looting experience just needs to hold this cross. We're going to jump on in 2 in 1 direction, and what are we doing? Petro finds the refrag, knife in hand. Semblance, you still have a battle to fight on through, trying to lock it down. Smokey didn't spot the barrel. He finds the player. Is there time remaining? Oh, it's going to be close, but he's got it. He's got it. Miz are going into overtime.
Wow, Miz, beautiful plays. I mean, exactly what you want to be seeing from this team. And now the question really remains, can they just finish the job? I mean, I think it's definitely doable. I think it's definitely lockable. I think they just have to split up, lock this in. Their CT side off the back of Ancient alone on the map of Ancient here is making waves.
Interestingly enough, having both map number 1's Ancient, and at the same time, both of them on overtime. What a day it is to be alive as a Plausible Gaming CS2 enjoyer. In the meanwhile, though, don't forget that we also have ourselves the Plausible Gaming LFO tool that, of course, is sponsoring today's stream, the LFG network. If you want more details about it, get over towards plausible.gg, because, of course, long queue times toxicity is a no-go in the gaming industry. If you want to bypass that, it is a free ticket to get in your Discord server. Of course, get better stacks, get better teams, and better coordination, because there was none from looting experience. Patchor just pushing deep top, and in the meanwhile, a flank by Copycat onto Somehow's back has left looting experience without 2 players.
Yeah, already looting experience down a lot. Miz off of the back of Ancient, double down again, and another one down. It's just going to be Trozor in a 1v5, and I think he's getting flanked right now. So, Trozor, your time is a ticking. You got to start getting these picks.
flank or not, Symbolins is going to be able to clean him up. A remnant only to be dusted. Looting experience not going to be able to proclaim the opening round here. And Miz find themselves the first in overtime. Second one about, and again, the CT side really dominant. That was an astounding round from them compared to what we've seen from them in that second half. However, though, can they keep it up? Is the consistency there for them?
I think there's a chance that they definitely do keep this up. Miz looking pretty solid. Now, Straws inching on up, wanting to find the opening. You see a lot of running and gunning, and oh my, the wall bang, smoke bang, everything's getting banged here. It's looking pretty clean, and
no.
Copycat's able to still get one from that somehow. Unfortunately, not fast enough to save his teammate, and Petro joins up with somehow a 2v4, capable yet again, just being patient.
Buddy system for looting experience. Gonna have to rely on it. Or maybe do they back off from this one? Not really much to save. Again, we are considering this is overtime, so funds are there for you. You just have to allocate them correctly. The final two on ramp, not gonna split up. Bit of a human centipede between the two. There's a bit of distance as well. Ancient, he's going to find himself somehow, and Petror, a last man to stand. It's just down to Miz to not give up these 1v1s, which in this situation tend to be the largest downbringer of certain situations. As Petror now, an AK in hand, he said, you know, I've had enough. I'm going to go towards this B site, or rather, I'm going to go towards cave. Check it out. Nothing there. Mid is free for the taking and no one around A, but Miz have caught on to his move.
Planting the bomb. Petro, 1v3, has everything he really needs to try to lock this in, and a shot comes out, ringing through the halls, grabs him, and that's just enough. And if you adjust here, you should be all good. Locking this in now. They're pushing together. Petro, so worried about that potential flank. Looks all the way around the map. Oh.
I'll be honest, I was on the edge of my seat. After Symbolins gave away his 1v1 to Petror and seeing Strauss on 21, Pat on 10, I thought it was going to be over. They lined themselves up nicely there towards the end as well. I was really considering the fact that it was going to go towards looting experience for at least that second, but no, Miz are going to keep up the flawless in this overtime, and again, Ancient setting himself up in a really good spot towards that ramp. There was no follow-up, but he still did the damage needed to leave only a sole player standing. Now continuing, Miz, do we go flawless in the entirety of this first overtime CT side?
I think we definitely can. The problem that I'm also looking at, though, is the fact that we've switched the sides. We have our money back. This could be it for the first half here, but the ops, they have just enough to pop off somehow. Grabs Copycat, opening us up fairly well. Pat you now tucking in. Needs to stop this push, but surprisingly, they're not taking the space. They just got the pick. They can walk away. It's okay. They don't have to fight it.
Well, there we go. First one collected. Hasn't all gone just wrong yet, Miz, but they're going to play the aggressor, try to initiate looting experience in their own territory somewhat. Sakav holding this back line. Honestly, you have to respect it with the amount of Miz moments we've seen from... Oh no, this Molly might just get away. He's actually rethinking it. Back in his hands, he's going to throw it. Does this pursue Ancient to push himself deeper? No! The patience on this man is certainly nuclear. But sick AF, does he expect it? Just for a moment, there's a reaction, but looting experience have already snuck themselves beneath the noses of Miz entering this A site and even holding their own sixes around mid.
All right, now boom, another op shot from somehow. Trozer getting straws, leaves us now with Symbolins in the last 1v4, last round of this half of overtime, and the pixel perfect peak headshot. Just kidding. Execution comes through, and 14-13. Miz not going to be able to flawless it on this side, but remember, these guys were terrorists. They were doing everything they needed to on the T side to make it work.
Yeah. Well, looting experience were mostly under threat on that T, and now we're going to have to see how they work around it. Again, we do still have a couple more rounds. Maybe we even go into the second one of OT. I wouldn't be surprised. Again, these two teams have certainly been rivals deserving of this semifinal spot, but sadly, really sadly, only one of them can walk into map number 2 with one under the belt already, and then, of course, also into the grand final. But we're looking a bit too much into the future as a tactical timeout by Miz, because again, considering they do have, by the way, At the very top, it's a bit mixed up. It's 14 for Miz, 13 for looting experience, and it should be T and CT swapped. So, again, there's no confusion just yet, but Miz are going to take themselves a tactical timeout going into the second half.
Yeah, tactical timeout here. I mean, it makes sense. We haven't seen a lot of them today, so might as well see them coming late into the game. Overall, I'm very, very happy to say that what we are going to be looking at is the overarching theme of Miz's aggression now having to be slowed down a little bit, but they are leaning towards a read that genuinely can just win them the game here.
Flashes out. Where's the approach? There it is. Blinded. Somehow finds one, but it's all for the count of 2. Ancient Patu. Nice double tip. In the meanwhile, though, still bottom mid. Haven't made much progress since then. Ancient, what a shot. There it is for Miz if they want to keep the streak going 2 rounds ahead. It already seems like it's within their vision that Trozer and Let Me Cry are just final 2 victims now, trying to deny the inevitable plant. Will have to go on down. One takes the position of Temple, which is mollied out. So an approach deeper will not be able to be made. There's one that's going to expose himself. Ancient, what are we thinking? Again, just going in alone. This has been the weakness of Miz. They keep on trying to take ones, but Simbalance wins his. And the last one, Simbalance closes it out. Now match point within this overtime for Miz, as they need only one more.
Yeah, there are no mistakes from this team. There are no mistakes from Miz. You might say, oh, Ancient's going in solo. Yes. He is making the space for his team. That is what he does. And if they continue to do that, then they will win this entire set. And of course, if Simbalance just keeps doing whatever the hell Simbalance is doing, that's insane. Like, it's star players versus people who are, like, just not ready for this level of cohesion. But Trozer is ready to get a double down. Let Me Cry's getting a double down. Now it's just going to be Simbalance and the star player having to now clutch this up.
This is scary, Simbalance. Well, you've done Simbalance things in the past. Can you do it once more? 4 players might just be a bit overwhelming as at the moment, but again, we're taking a look at an absolutely insane player here. 23 kills to his name in map number 1 alone. He's been riding the wave since that very beginning, but there's no post plan to help you out. You don't have a single teammate to pat you on the back, and kind of just seeking any retribution might be the best you can work around with. There's going to be a molly to shut down that cubby around cave. You get spotted out. The spray is attempted, but Petro will have none of it.
Yeah. None of it, but all of it's necessary. This is the final round, deciding if we're going to overtime. Number 2, 15-15. God, 15-15. Doesn't that sound familiar? Old days Counter-Strike Global Offensive. I want to see this get to 16. I want to see this not go to OG overtimes. And now that I remember that, I remember casting Counter-Strike back in the day in Global Offensive and having an overtime go 32-33.
Oh my goodness.
But we're not there. We're in a faster game, a faster mode, and of course the speed of which M1Z is able to take this down, I think, might just favor them. But looting experience has proven that the CT side is CT sided and now needs to lock this in for the map.
And of course, none of this could have been possible without the Plausible LFG Network, which is a community-driven Discord looking for group servers designed to fit the matchmaking experience by connecting players to better squads and streamlining the pre-made process. So, again, look for more information at plausible.gg as we head back to the match here. And Miz, the line has been drawn here. Can they capture upon it? The story here, will it end? A couple of warning shots. Patu does not seem scared by it. He keeps on walking himself forward and through towards Donut. Nope, he wants more. He wants this top mid for himself, and Todd spotted. Trozer gonna find Ancient, but Miz, they just keep on pushing forward.
Simbalance, almost there with it. Nice, we see the sprays, we see the shots. Copycat's on the board, they're now on the site, and they want to keep up that fight. They want to just keep pushing on up, and they have everything that they need to do so with a shot from Simbalance on somehow, and a flank from mid, finally being watched by Patu, who's really, or sorry, flank from A, getting shut down, but sick AF gone, and that is the game. Very solid for these players.
Miz's pick and Miz's victory, although by the bare skin of their teeth, considering they needed to catch up after quite the grueling comeback by the side of LE. Although no doubt that, looting experience, they still showed that there's a lot for them to bring to the table, especially going towards Mirage, which we are looking forward to. But again, Ancient is not theirs, as now they're up against Series Point. Will we have the same storyline that we did with Dragons or Goats, or will maybe looting experience change it up a bit?
I mean, this is very similar. You know, we saw the overtime on Ancient, and we saw it on the favored team. Now getting into our next game, Mirage is actually a map pick that we know if you're a stronger team on Ancient, you probably have an explosively powerful run. So overall, looking at this game, looking at how this is, we are on track for another 2-0, but we could be proven wrong. But of course, if you guys want to see if you can prove us wrong when we say these guys, our community is our best players, prove us right, prove us wrong, do what you can by joining plausible.gg. Get into our Plausible LFG network today. If you want to farm pre-mades, if you want to refuse to play with randoms, you can do it right now. Connect with better teammates and compete in our tournaments or compete in any tournaments. No matter what your rank is, you're capable right now of finding a wonderful squad to join you at plausible.gg. But with that being said, we're going to take it to a short break and join back up with Mirage coming soon.
Get back what you're giving, find the reason that you're living, what you're good at, all your gifts and what you love. Take a risk and find out what you've been missing. You realize deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. You realize deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. Purpose is better than any drug you could ever think. If you know why you're doing something, that's all you need. I wake up ready for the day because I believe in everything that I'm doing like it was meant to be. I get fixated and captivated on learning things. Don't hesitate to ask questions, the answer that I need. It's out there somewhere, I swear I can find the recipe. By testing, learning, and turning into a better me. Realize deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. You realize deep way under the surface, and like a fire needs coal in the furnace. This is your goal that makes it all worth it. This is your why that gives you your purpose. I got all the voters. I swear to God, I've been at it for a minute. Climbing to the top, and this music was my ticket. Found a way to grind, turn a passion to a business. No limit, I'ma get it, having millions as a witness. I'm addicted to winning, living up every single day. I'll be fighting and building up in a million different ways. I don't think I can stop, I think I need the chase. I love the race, and I'm running till I'm first place. Long nights, long flights, I'ma make it big. Big dreams, big sights since I was a kid. Doing things that I like, let the pieces fit. I like the pain, feel alive when I'm under it. I could change, adapt, do what I need to. All these obstacles, they looking see-through. Don't let the anger out, just let it feed you. I'll see you at the top, just let me teach you. Yeah.
I'ma be a high roller, move forward in the battle like soldier, in the game like closer. I'll be at the top of the chain, straight owner. Yeah, I got a different motor. I don't need any help, I'm a loner. You'll be seeing my name on posters. You could call me POTUS, I got all the voters.
They be like, really, you got a milli from doing something silly? I'm like, chilly, I've been killing for decades.
And welcome back. I hope you haven't missed us too much because we're about to head into map number 2 of the second semifinal to see if things will close off once more in flawless fashion, or will we see the decider finally? Noobish, it's still me, Buffalo Bob, it's still Edu, and, well, Edu, we're heading into Mirage. It will be Looting Experience's pick for a change of pace, and we're hoping that they can bring this one home.
I'm hoping as well. I think that when it comes down to the overall theme of the day, it's Mirage, it's Ancient, and it is Overtime and then Blitz. I think that, you know, we can see those repeats happen. We can see this team really lock this in. So I gotta ask, if you guys are currently watching from home, let us know right now, who do you think is going to be taking it? Is it M1Z or is it this team? As we jump on into a wonderful Looters Enlightenment. Let's see it. Game is ready. Mirage is ready. Jump on in. Pray that some people are going to get some picks.
And of course, never forget that once more, all of this is brought to you by the Plausible Looking for a Group Network. If you want to skip those toxic lines, long-awaiting lines to get yourself a group, just join on in. I mean, we are building what is to be possibly the next big LFG network. So, of course, it's a Discord system. You can put it into your servers and make sure that everything is as professional as should be, so all your players and everyone being just wanting to get into a good match with good players gets themselves set up. So find more information at plausible.gg as we head into map number 2 between Miz and Looting Experience. T-side here for Looting Experience, but not the greatest of beginnings.
Oh, Pat, you got damn getting a nice clean pick down, and another one will be falling, but of course it's him with this T-side take of CT. They're actually going to try to reverse it. We're going to be walking right on in, and Symbolance reads him like a book, tucks into a cubby, able to grab this and mollies them off. They get out. Shots. Oh, they don't. What a shot.
No one escapes death, but certainly no one escapes mids. Somehow faking the plant, instead of taking the extra money, he's trying to take the challenge, but sadly, that's gonna lead you nowhere. Sadly, bad timing here will not work out in your favor. It got close, but the Glocks body damage certainly sucks, and Straz is gonna put that fact right into your brain.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of game plan that you gotta be looking at here. They are clean with this, and see if they're gonna be able to keep up that kind of momentum. Overall, things are looking pretty solid, but what I got to look from M1Z is going to be the ultimate lockdown here of second round. We don't want to see what we saw before with the first semifinal of GOATs taking every second round on a Thrifty. But let's see if Semblance is going to be able to do it again.
Dangerous. There it is. Let me cry is going to find Semblance. He tried to do his best, but again, even with a better gun, there's that Looting experience coming in quite nicely. Let me cry to get a bit of damage, but again, the rest of the team are now going to retreat towards either an app split, which again is being set up really nicely, as we see by Petroware just pushed up a bit deeper around it. In the meanwhile, though, this mid presence not going to let go of just yet, and Miz have also put a bit of a replacement. I believe that's Copycat around window, overseeing the entire situation.
Yeah, let's see this then. Get it on up into the next. Just be patient, just be slow, inching your way through. Not going to spot anything quite yet, but oh, you jump up. Oh, Pat, you making a bunch of steps. Point blank, that's a P251 tap.
Oh, wow.
He just said, hey, catch. Dropped it right in his hands, and now it's a real big pushback here. Strauss is getting them, and yes, they might have gotten Semblance, but I don't see if they get the sight.
Ah, there it is. That Strauss discipline incoming. A second one as well will fall to his hands, and let me cry. Sadly, you're going to have to take that as a matter of fact, because 4 players are now standing to look to hunt you down. You don't really have much to work around with. No utility, a better gun, which could be better off for the saving. You are getting baited by one of these players. You know, spotted the head from Miz. One goes up onto Van, and I mean, even challenging it at that point seemed already ridiculous, but Miz are going to find themselves the second round, and already off to a good lead as they were on Ancient.
Yeah, off to a great start, but I think what we're looking at now is rifle rounds, which have kind of been the definition of whether or not this game continues the momentum it has, but I still think that even with this rifle round that it is going to be favoring out our current leaders, as they're kind of playing pretty well.
Shots through smoke, anticipating the move towards those boxes on top mid from the spawn side. As in the meanwhile, though, we're taking a look looting experience, just setting up towards this A quite nicely. They have a bit of presence around mid, as Miz are kind of disregarding it for now. Petra on under, this is a good spot to be in, and Pat, you might be dangerous if it goes unchecked.
Yep, danger is definitely on the board here for these players. We think that they're going to be able to stop it with Sibilance. Blind through a smoke, gets Trozar, gets another one down to level this playing field. Now, Petra Ward gets Sibilance down. The molly is a little bit too strong. Everything's kind of falling apart. Straws, he's clutched these before, but can he do it again?
I mean, Miz would quite be grateful about it. Looking experience, I think Ninja would be the last plays they check. Oh, there's that bomb coming right around him. Does he try to prioritize on denying it? No, he has a kit, and if this... there's one player, a couple of missed shots. The refrag attempted. Palace player is going to find him just amidst of him responding to that. That's loading experience. There it is, opening round for themselves.
All right. Gets a good solid round early enough. You know, we've had some struggles with them in the past getting these early rounds, but this time I feel a little bit more confident in when I say that I think looting experience definitely can not get 13-3 like we saw the goats get by the dragons. So overall, I'm still looking forward to this next one, but MIZ realizing, okay, these guys have a little bit of a momentum. Our money's not looking too hot. We actually didn't do a lot of damage that round either. We can't afford. Our bonus failed. We forced. So MIZ is actually calling a tactical timeout to maybe take a deep breath and say, okay, where are these players going to want to reside?
The previous round and its beginning, a bit of an inadequate one for Miz. Looting experience, I do like that. Again, they have certainly the potential to fight them back, but it's always once Miz are backed off to a wall, that's when they are really the strongest, I feel like. And currently, I'm imagining we're going to see that following soon. I think looting experience should be comfortable in claiming this round, mostly because, again, if they don't, their economy is going to go crashing down once more. But the party isn't over just yet. We're having a bit of a pause, which, again, resets the mental for both these teams. And any type of momentum they went into within the previous round is now going to get set to 0.
A little bit unfortunate there, but happens. Momentum is a part of this game that kind of controls everything. You know, no one hears the Juggernaut from Marvel. You don't have infinite speed. You gotta be able to bounce back and back and back. But smokes are down. We are seeing that Heaven take, and Straws joined up with Ancient and Pat you. Lots of players stacked up on this site.
Looting experience, trying to make as little sound as humanly possible. With this utility coming out, it should become clear and obvious. The smoke there to make this entry so much more difficult, and Patty is going to have himself an amazing opportunity. He's keeping himself steady, but why did he try and persist? Let Me Cry is going to find 2. Now oh no, it's going to be the scout formation to find Trozar. Keeps on challenging it, finds more damage. Let Me Cry down to 32. Copycat upon stairs, and if he ascends up, could find himself in a really pivoting position. So this is going to be the T side now pushing into the territory of this CT player's pistol is out, and with overwhelming numbers, looting experience have overtaken the man count by 2. Now transferring themselves over towards this B to have jungle control as well, but they're just going to simply ignore it so they can get the plant down.
All right, ignore and get the plant. Copycat, let's see if you can ignore the fact that your team forced this round. That's a little scary. Lots of money, lots of commitment to this team. But overall, I think the main thing that they need to focus on is really setting this team up for success here. I need to be looking at just our lock-in Any mistakes? Any missteps? Anybody want to give this guy an AK?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
What a charitable man CKF is.
There's no guarantee Copycat survives, though. He is getting hunted down by the other two. All right, he does survive this.
Bit of HP remaining. About half of his taken away. Looting experience have caught up to Miz. As we have seen on map number 1, but again, it's down to who can really take all of this into consideration. Miz are going to be down on their bad buy. Do we try forcing into this is the question. Again, we don't really have enough money to get ourselves past these pistols, but utility is still in the matter of conversation, as looting experience are going to take the tactical timeout even on a full buy, but they do recognize that, again, for these players, if they don't come out walking with a winning round, it's going to be a bit of a rougher standard economically continuing. And again, a great spot where Miz could once more creep up into the rankings of being rounds above. And looting experience, they don't want that.
Yeah. They don't want it. They don't want to be shut down. They don't want to be absolutely picked off here. And I think at the end of the day, the end all be all of MIZ versus looting experience, the takeaway you want to have is, of course, can you make it work when you don't have the money? And if you're able to just win this round with a slow, methodical deconstruction, 5-7s, deagles, it could make it so you 2-0 this team. And looting experience, honestly, I don't see them wanting to give up that lead to some pistols.
Oh, this short is going to be a massacre here. CKF is going to start it. One more remains patient, and as Copycat is trying to back his team up a bit, he does not surpass a single kill. Ancient there, a bit shut out by the smokes, now trying to refract himself around towards this kitchen. A shot here is going to warn him to stay away, but by the end stage, I don't think he's going to move past the CT spawn. Now being hunted down because, again, Miz, looting experience, want to deal as much economical damage to them as humanly possible. CKF is going to make sure that happens, and a real dominant performance from this one player.
Wow. Dominant indeed. 2-3, very solid. And of course, on the hands of now, we also are going to be seeing looting experience having a pretty much, they don't want to get shot in the head. They also have a lot of money saved up for even if this round gets taken. I am hoping we're going to be able to turn this game all the way around for us. But oh, sick AF. Imbalance gone. Let's see this. Ancient locking it in.
7 kills on this one has been getting for ban. CKF truly cannot be stopped. It's the consistency throughout the team that makes it work. And now 2 players, 3 going in. How we want to risk it. Copycat. Good work. Miz are now back on even standings, but HP, that trade-off with a special looting experience, already have themselves this 8 control 2. It's just a matter of time before this bomb is planted.
Just a matter of time. Take it slow. Lock yourself up. Lock yourself down. And there's a nice, clean shot from Let Me Cry. Copycat right behind him. I think Let Me Cry knows, though, the timing. Crosshair placement wins it, and looting experience winning out against MIZ's buy round with a very strong lead.
Different to Ancient. Already starting to like it. A lot different to how Dragons and Goats went, so that's already certainly a bonus to add to it. But again, Miz not out of it just yet. A force buy here is going to be Reekin in desperation, as looting experience still overwhelming with the guns they currently bring to the table. A jump down into Wonder, and oh, considering that looting experience are going to commit their push towards apps, this might just be dangerous.
Might just be a little bit dangerous, as we are seeing Petra getting up and closing. There's the trade symbol and sees some 180 and trying to get more, but no, he's panic aiming, and that is going to be a site taken. B is free unless Copycat can lock it in, and he's locked out.
Ancient and Pat, what can we work off? Oh, hey, This is very interesting to watch. Is he going to Goomba stomp him? I think that knife is very temptatious as of the moment. He's going to hop down very quietly. CKF, you are brutal. He's pulling it out. There is no clue in Ancient's head as he's so committed to holding down window. And we have to commiserate him for that. But sadly, he's... A crown of thorns is put on his head, and Pat Yu has nothing left for him besides this one flower pot and a corner to duck in.
Just the corner you got. It's all you need. Tucking away, and boom. Solid, I guess, being able to shut these players out, shut them down for the count, and that should be fine. But you are looking at fear for this team. You're looking at them not exactly being able to completely lock this up. But at the end of the day, I think that M1Z understands that this is a T-sided map with their playstyle. They were T-sided on the attack of Ancient, so I think that, you know, maybe they just really need AKs, genuinely.
I think that might actually be it. Very possible, eh? We can respect that most of their training has went into those AK recoil control maps, but... you know, we're going to have to see that in the second half. Either way, though, Miz can just come out of this half with a 10-2 split. That's not going to be enough to comfortably bring them into a victory or overtime at the very least, I'd say. Very confidently so. But it's the plays from Looting Experience that have been outstanding inside this matchup, right? It's Trozer taking this easy ground right now that Pat has just passed on down as he's forced back towards spawn. The Molly going to discourage him from swinging around. Tickets CKF, a player that has never really found a breaking point, while though Ancient at least went on to Trozer. Although Pat is going to take his fall, Ancient to follow, and Miz once more just crumbled under the pressure.
Just crumbling here, and now again, why am I seeing so many 1v4s? It's like we're not getting any value. We're not trading off each other. We're not playing too good together. It's a little bit disappointing. Maybe they just have some bad communication. Maybe they got some bad comms. And of course, if you are tired of bad comms in your games, you guys can use plausible LFG to make sure you have a good comm by getting your team together for the next season. But let's see this as we see Copycat trying to get two. He can't, and unfortunately Looting Experience has won the half at 6-2, which means a timeout has to be called if we want to see any kind of recovery.
We want to see anything work here for Miz. This tactical timeout might be the perfect moment for them to convey a different plan, a different motion to set against Looting Experience on their T side, which has been mostly just send 2-3 players into a site, make them take the ground, and win. It's been very simple and plain, and I don't blame them for it. Going by the book sometimes is enough. Miz have been allowing it mostly, though, and to be fair to Miz, most of their guns haven't been really fully bought into, so they really have to make sure this one counts. Although utility for the CT side being this low doesn't spark the brightest thought.
Well, I mean, when you're down on util, you also get to save money because everybody has a gun that one-taps you, so you don't have to buy head armor. So overall, I think that right now at this stage for the CT side, their loss bonus is making it so they can always afford, but the boost spot underestimated, and Semblance is down. Not looking too hot. Unfortunately, they're going to have to rotate over, but no one is on B.
The op being lost. A tragedy as Petror is gonna put another one to his grave. Copycat now no longer persisting. Straz to try and bring it back, but what does that matter when you're faced with Sikaf, who's been right now on a 13 kill streak? An absolute beast of a player performance-wise, as Miz once more just looking down into this pit of damnation. 2 players against 4, time taken against you, and at this point you might already be considering the save.
You can consider it. But at the end of the time, you know that you really have nothing to lose at this point. Your loss bonus is so big, it's about winning the round, and he just goes for it. You know, his teammate, though, he's not going to be able to afford that op, so he goes for the full save. Not too shabby of an idea. The question now maintains, can we see Looting Experience keep up this kind of momentum?
Oh, wow. I thought that somehow might also be encouraged to pull out a knife and go for the backstab for a second time, which, again, I feel like Miz might be starting to also get slightly mentally drained. Also, Well, physically, because I feel like most of the gunfights they've been taking, a lot of missed shots have passed on by. And even though Shraz can try and keep up the kill streak of being equalized, Looting Experience have always just overwhelmed them. This is a new showcase by Looting Experience. And I feel like if it were to be as well in Ancient, map number 1 could have been theirs, but they've certainly adapted upon Miz's playstyle, and it's showing through the scoreline alone.
Yeah, showing up and showing out. Petra needs to slowly scoot away. Just barely being able to get out just in time. We do see Sick AF taking that mid space. So far, the mid space dominated by Looting and Straws. He knows. Oh, but Petra were able to grab Ancient, now re-aggressing on this team. Pat Yu has to get the timing down, but this is not the weapon advantage to you. No, it is! This run and gun and survive. Gets the AK in the hand, and now you have to see the team trying to execute on the site with a minute left in the 5-7. Able to grab one. Sibilance wants to swing out, but there's too much guarding it. He gets spooked back. Heaven mollied off, so his teammates can't help. Sick AF has to be good for 2, and he is. Gets the double down, leaves us now with Pat Yu, knowing exactly where he's at, but do they know about Copycat? Trying to now find that swing out. Triple box spotted, but again, Pat is now in a 1v3, 1v4 if he gets all the kills for himself.
Sadly, as promising of a beginning as it was here by Pat Yu, and the continuation by the Pistols, by Miz, the result is still bound to be the same in Looting Experience. Their domination continues. This is a new showing from them, and well, Pat Yu, you just have to feel that. Well, it was a bit of a scarce moment here. Somehow he's going to give up the op, and maybe this is a good thing. Again, Miz, they get themselves an extra gun. They can carry it on with more promise going into this one, but you take a look at the feed right, and you just see, what, 6-7 rounds in a row by Looting Experience? And that has to be draining for Miz to think about.
Yeah, I mean, Miz started 2-0. Started 2-0, became 2-2, became 2-8, became a chance at a third map, which would be different. But the buys are on lines, and somehow still getting the first blood. I think he's gotten first blood every round that they've won. Just locking it in. And okay, buddy.
Wow, we just do not learn our lesson, do we, Miz? Keep on swinging it to somehow. See what happens. Well, 2 players gone now, 3 as a matter of fact, because, again, Miz, they love swinging, that's for sure, but they can't keep on winning. Right now, Pat Yu, he's doubled up with his teammate from behind, going into 4, and whoa, what a collide here by Pat Yu. Copycat follows. Is this the point of return? Looting Experience, no final destination yet. Nate is going to clear Pat Yu, leave it in a 1v1. AK on both ends. They're holding down the right spot, but Copycat has given up his spot, and Let Me Cry is going to take care of him.
Good reason to cry. I mean, 2-9. I can't understand how a team that did so well is getting completely reverse sweep. Remember, they won map 1 off the skin of their teeth in overtime here, and now they can't even get around. I mean, it's getting scary if you are this team, and that fear, I fear, is going to be the mainstay in our next map here if we do get to map 3, if looters are going to be able to shut them down completely.
Yeah, the largest piece of copium we can use is that maybe Miz are resting for this map and trying to bring all their energy into map number 3. However, though, I very heavily doubt that's the case. Because, again, we've seen attempts, we've seen some of these rounds cut it quite close, but it's the fact that Looting Experience have been just so overwhelming most of the time. And, again, somehow getting away with these opening kills. Sick AF and Let Me Cry being on 28 kills combined without even the first half being closed. Miz they just can't get a crack in the armor of their opponents, because a 9-3 here is guaranteed, and a 10-2 still very possible.
Yeah, 10-2 very possible here, especially when you're looking at, again, how many times First Blood has been given on over to Looting Experience, who has been very consistent in just taking that mid pressure. And, you know, I would argue, okay, on a map like Ancient, it makes sense to want to contest mid so much, but when you have so many crossfires at the corridors of the mid entrances, you have jungle, you have stairs, you have everything you need. You should be able to completely lock this in. And the fact is that they just keep on fighting middle, and it's just not working.
Yeah, the variety from Miz has been lacking. As sad as it, oh my goodness, it's all been red for the past 9 rounds. And that is, well, incredible for looting experience, I can imagine. But Miz, on the other hand, I'm hoping they don't pay attention to it too much, because again, there's still a half to play. There's still a map potentially too if they don't come back from this. But 9-3 curse is something they might rely on. And once more, we see them around this mid. There's that op, and it goes missed. Ancient, not a good beginning here. Now just Sick AF walking himself in, and Pat-U is going to be victim to his hands. We're allowing it, Miz, and that's been our issue since day one.
Nice. Straws, though, being able to clean it up. Very solid here. They have life advantage the first time in 7 rounds. And it's gone. Immediately trades it back up. Let Me Cry needs to lock this in. Does spot out one player. Nope. The swing's not there. The fear is unreal. Trozor just keeping the barrel of their gun out, trying to buy some time, will finally swing, and Ancient opping has not been successful for him, except for now. What a shot! Sorry for ever doubting you. 1v2. And he's executed. 2 and 10.
Yeah, that is very horrifying to look upon, and it's, again, kind of taking us back to the previous semifinal, where the result ended up being 13-3. Although it's not Miz on 10 rounds, it is looting experience. So while that gets swapped again, we have to talk about the fact that Miz, this is nowhere near what we saw in Ancient, and going on to Anubis, which is a completely different map, comparing it to Ancient and Mirage. The results, I'm just kind of scared to see what it's going to be.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do if you are Miz outside of just pray that you are able to be an insanely powerful attack side. But again, I mean, it's up to somehow. This time somehow becomes the first blood. Okay, off to a better start.
Better beginning. Can we keep it in our hands though, Miz? That has always been the question, with a very grim result. But no, Pat-U doubles down. Second dip, and it is now 3v5 here. Looting experience, making a rerun towards this A side. 3 players charging it down to their own spawn. Good tap by Sick AF, and there's 3 for the taking. Night and day, this player, once he steps in the field, it's a completely different story. Has been taking it away since the beginning. Now, smoke in hand, he's prepped up for all situation. Takes a bit of damage, flick to the right. Can he finish the job and secure an ace? No, he's locked in on winning this event and sticks himself on that defuse in an instant, while the rest take care of Pat. And even then, still very possible, he's gonna find himself the ace while at it.
Just kind of scary with it. Honestly, kind of scary to see a potential just shut down. You guys, oh yeah, you play a little bit of tournaments, you play the urban contenders once or twice, you know, but here this team is a plausible gaming finest. I mean, you saw Petra before, we've seen Sick AF, we've seen these guys, and it really showcases that yes, we upped our prize pool, we've attracted some more players, but now we're attracting ourselves with some really solid plays. But let's now see this. Let Me Cry having to back up. Flashing out.
Mids. Scary.
Oh. He got flashed by his own teammate.
Yikes. Big experience. They've certainly picked up that advantage in Miz. A situation as old as time. And, well, there's the result. 12-2, I think. Speedrun any percent. Looting experience or not match point. And Miz, I'm really hoping that they're saving their energy for the next map.
Yeah, I think they are. I think they're saving their time here. All we have to see is 12-2 is going next. I don't see them ever having a chance at bringing 10 rounds back to back after this. I mean, we're flashing Ancient. We're really not communicating well with our team. We're really not just locking in like we were. Simbalin's the guy who was the MVP. Now, the opposite. Ancient, though, without being flashed by his teammates, surprisingly, is able of getting some kills.
Yeah, solid foundation here for him. IZ. But again, you just have to consider, we've always seen this type of structure, and then it begins crumbling down, which, once more, Miz, hopefully we have it running, but We do have one right around the corner. Again, Trozer here is going to get met with Copycat in any second, and hopefully the T side can walk out of it standing. There it is, Copycat, good for it. Is this where Miz are going to make the greatest comeback of their life, or will Let Me Cry set them down once more?
All right. Looking pretty solid with this. Petro might now find that opening swing as the rest of the team. Actually, MIZ gets on site, gets the plant. Looting Experience understands, wait a minute, this isn't a ranked game. We're not here for face it points. What we're here for is winning the entire set. So it's okay. Let's save. Let's be smart about it. Let's keep our weapons. We have 10 rounds to lose.
Yeah, I don't think there's much that Looting Experience need to worry about just yet. A lot of second chances still for them, or rather 10 second chances. Well, what are we doing up there? Shrad's certainly confused, but, you know, he's not going to waste a second to take out Sikeyev. Because Sikeyev has been a monster this entire matchup. We have to give it to him. He's, what, right around the corner of having himself a 30 bomb, is it? Well, not so close, but still probably the highest out of the lobby, without a doubt.
Yeah, honestly, we know that Miz has a lot of time to, you know, try to get some of these picks here. At the end of the day, I think that if you are Looting Experience, you just know, okay, we can play slow. We don't have to really give up much. It's when you keep trying the same trick over and over and over again, it just stops working. It just stops working. And that same trick is unfortunately not something that I think Looting Experience is going to fall for. Like, they've known, okay, we don't want to fight for mid now. And they choose not to.
Bit of damage towards the wave Shraz. Again, this is just a beginning for Looting Experience. The CT side is not playing as aggressive, but they're certainly holding their own advantages. This con won't be as easily obtained because Let Me Cry has found himself one Trozer to follow, and even though they keep on swinging, Sibilance has picked up 3. Where's this come out of? Miz might be back stronger than ever, but Petror is trying to bring their hopes down for one last time. Low HP needs a bullet, finds it, and connects. Sibilance now in need of an ace to keep Miz alive, but they are brought down inside this map 13-3 like we had it previously, and it seems like the decider will end up leaving us as to who reaches those grand finals.
Yeah, honestly, this has been a very upsetting turnaround there, but, you know, I think looking at the scoreboard, we might have called that's what was going to happen.
Yeah.
A little bit. Getting into there, you know, it's pretty much a repeat of what we just witnessed. And now seeing this game, it was looking a little bit rough. That Mirage, very well played. And now we have a chance of getting into our next round here, a map of Anubis to completely change things around, and genuinely that can turn this game completely. But Mirage, Anubis, Ancient, we're looking at these older maps that have, well, not older maps to the game, but older maps to the theme. These guys are playing really well. I think that in a map like Ancient or Anubis, we've seen the map changes. We've seen the new walkway updates, mid being changed a lot. I think that those map changes aren't going to really do too much here. So, Puffa, what are your thoughts?
Well, I just hope we don't get to see the same result. That's kind of what's been circling around my head this entire time, because I am scared. As much as I want to further down on your point about maps, I want to take it into the right direction, that I hope Miz aren't completely like trained on Ancient alone, because Mirage is a very default map of team fundamentals, and if Miz are just like full on Ancient and don't have the experience around Mirage and Anubis, it might be a scary result going into this decider.
Absolutely. It might be a pretty scary result, but there is no such thing as a scary result when you guys check out plausible.gg. We have a brand new bot that can assist your Discord server into being a hub for all things esports and all things getting players together and connected, thanks to our LFG network as well. So head on over to plausible.gg. You can take a look at our Discord bot to add to your Discord today. And of course, we will be right back with map number 3 of Anubis.
Well, maybe like several years is, but who's counting really? I just know how to turn something silly into a milli. Got a lot to say and a lot need to hear it. You don't quit today, we don't stop, no, we feel it to the top. Yeah, we change our whole world, yeah, we steer it. Getting lost in the things that make us all worth hearing. No, I'm the first one to turn up, learn stuff, but mostly I'm just in the lab getting work done. Cause the bills on the first, they still worth some. I never forget being broke, man, it hurts, son. But not as bad as not having any purpose. I took stabs, this and that, and it's working. But I still grind every day for that thirst. It's a curse being first, yeah, still gotta get my work done.
Yeah, I'ma be a high roller, move forward in the battle like soldier, in the game like closer. I'll be at the top of the chain, straight owner. Yeah, I got a different motor, I don't need any help, I'm a loner. You'll be seeing my name on posters, you could call me POTUS, I got all the voters. Yeah, let's go. New year, new me, turn it up a new degree. I'm gonna make it to the top if it's the last thing I see. Work hard every day, work hard, then we play. I'll be doing everything in my own damn way. Ain't nobody tell me shit, I'm on top of it. Writing hits that make other people feel like writing hits. We gon' get every little goal that we wanna get. Never quit, we don't even know what it means to quit. Write it down, what you want, what you need, what you see. Everything that you wanna be. Put it out in the world, that's your destiny. In your mind, what you need is that believe. I'm gonna make it to the top, cause I never stop. My own switch doesn't have enough. I think it's broken, I think it's lost. I guess that's why I never take a loss. New year, new me, no fear, just be everything you wanna be. Write it down, what you see, don't give up, just believe, and you will succeed. Put the hours in, and you're bound to win. New year, new me, no fear, just be everything you wanna be. Write it down, what you see, don't give up, just believe, and you will succeed. Put the hours in, and you're bound to win. Make a deal with yourself that you'll get after it. Find something that you love, call it passionate. Or find some passion and leaving behind adequate. Your journey starts now, time to make it happen then. You could be great, have it your way. Served up like some room service on a nice plate. The high life is only hours a day away from making a change to the life that you chase on. New year, new you, new day. Go prove to yourself you could do anything you wanna do. When you set your mind to something big that you choose, break it down to the root, chip away, gotta move. Push past all your limitations. Right now consider this an invitation. Make your worth go up like inflation, and start chasing your dreams, stop waiting. New year, new me, no fear, just be everything you wanna be. Write it down, what you see, don't give up, just believe, and you will succeed. Put the hours in, and you're bound to win. New year, new me, no fear, just be everything you wanna be. Write it down, what you see, don't give up, just believe, and you will succeed. Put the hours in, and you're bound to win. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's
And welcome back, everybody, to Plausibles Gaming's Championship Series. We're in Season 11, Semifinals number 2, Game number 3. My name is Edu, and I'm joined with Puffo Bob as we're going to get into Anubis here amongst two teams that are apparently not so friendly to each other, and apparently not so friendly to each other in the gameplay either. So, yeah, Puffo, how are we feeling here?
I'm feeling excited because we also get the decider that's already around the corner, so let's get into Anubis as soon as we can, but it's also because we see something new, right? In the pre-production, we also talked about this. It was Ancient Mirage. It gets a bit tedious as time goes on, but Anubis, a new ground, a new sun, and a bit more dry land, but what matters mostly is the fact that it's going to be a completely different playstyle from both these teams, and well, may the best team win it because grand finals are on the line.
Grand finals are on the line, and already we're seeing a lot of people inside of that kill feed. Straw is able to get one, but a shot to the head. They are done, leaving us now with a one-player standing moment. No bomb, though. Pat U's lurk up is not finding too much value here. Or is it? Spots out a player. Might be able to find a pick, but boom, somehow. Swing and a miss. Swing and a one-tap. Swing, and you are now down one round. Miz, for the first time today, is not having an early lead.
Oh, you can always rely on somehow to do the job of cleaning up what remains from Miz, and, well, that's going to be the opening round. Already continuing that tradition of being the dominant team from the previous map, not number 2 Mirage, where, keep in mind, Looting Experience finished off with a 13-3 scoreline. That is just insanity, considering this is the semifinals and how Ancient win. We're just hoping that Miz are able to break that type of streak going into what is to be the decider.
Good little spray down. That's sitting in the middle of the smoke. Apparently the safest place you could be. Not really going to be spotted, but the nades, the rushes, everybody's close up and personal. Sick is lighting on fire, but it will be not enough against the Tech 9 pistol rush. Somehow able to grab the trade up, but we do see that an M4 goes in the hands of Semblance, who might be able to use this new spot and push himself up. A new boost has dropped, and that's going to be a fast pickup here, but you've left your teammate behind. Pat Yu needs to find that value.
And around the corner, Patio doesn't expect it. There's going to be Peeker's advantage. Trozer spotted you prior before you could react, and now Semblance all down to him. Arguably the best gun, but again, HP-wise, he's overwhelmed. 50 seconds on the clock for this T player, so he does have a bit of a clock to work around. However, though, it's his movement here that's just unsure. Has two paths, A and B. Which one does he take? Either way, Looting Experience are always planning to crunch him down with numbers, as it's somehow alongside Trozer that both have the opportunity of taking him on, and Semblance with no information is just going to have to go in raw and blind into this.
Run blind, and Semblance, 20 seconds left, needs that bomb.
Yeah.
He gets it. He also gets something else that he can take into the next round, a bullet in the brain, and Looting Experience is going to continue their gameplay here. Pretty solid, but it's now rifle rounds for MIZ. Starts off really strong T side on our wonderful map of Ancient. And I do want to remind us that, remember what you said, all right? Them winning is inevitable. Maybe we just have to wait a couple rounds.
Maybe you would just need to win an entire map. You'll have to see it. Somehow, oh, let me cry there. Good spot to not only use that tunnel vision around the player that's already passed on by, but just to support him as well as the utility rings on out. Miz, and now without Pat Yu, and once more, just a really bad beginning here. I'm starting to feel very scared that what I said about Miz being extremely locked into one map alone is starting to come true.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're 100% true about that. Now, Petro, wanting to get on up, has the opportunity. Really lock this in. And Sick AF. They're saying shots fired down. Nothing too crazy.
Oh, Looting Experience. I like the fact that they're playing around these smokes, passing guns, the better ones, onto HP players, or players with more HP. Although, again, Miz do have to recognize the importance of mid and waters, especially as a team that wants to push themselves towards A, but very unsuccessful because Trozer is going to find one more, and it's Ancient who sadly falls.
Nice. Semblance able to grab Trozor in a very clean way, but Straw's able to grab Let Me Cry. Now we're going to be seeing this team just pushing on up. We do have Petro. Close quarter combat. One tap to the brain, one tap in his mind, leaves us now in a 2v2. They still have yet to plant, but they tap it to try to fake it. Flashes, smokes are coming out. The blind is perfect, but Semblance backs him up. Sick AF has to clutch it, but there is the round. Oh, a lot closer than you'd want for your buy round, and you don't get the plant at the end of the round, which means less money for the team.
Well, it's the most important that Miz have already found about a third of the entirety of the rounds they had in the previous map. And again, they just have to keep it going on like this and not allow looting experience to absolutely dominate and turn this into a hectic matchup from a one-sided perspective. But again, Miz, they're on the T side. Again, the more of the rounds, the merrier, especially considering that that T side has certainly been what they would prefer playstyle-wise, as now their economy is starting to shift for the better slowly, but they need to make this round worth it. Somehow, did he not spot strats, or is he playing the safe game?
I think he just has to play extra safe, and that's all they got to do. I think that it was just an intentional, take a deep breath, try to get some space for your team, but look at this. This is why Semblance is able to get the punishment, and Trozor gets the trade, but that's a rifle in their possession now. Definitely could favor them a little bit.
Oh, jump peek here. Straz has no clue how to respond. And Sakayev, with his discombobulation, has found the lead for looting experience once more. As now 4 players at the CT just need to play it close with these MP9s, and they should be safe and sound to go.
Let's hope they will be. Run and gun, Copycat executes, very solid. Now it's a spray down. Let me cry, double down. Leaves Copycat all alone. No bomb plant. Okay. Runs through their own molly to cook a player. Actually beautiful.
You gotta respect it. There's symbolism in it. Right through the fire and the flames, he carried it on, and the torch passed down once more as looting experience, a round back for themselves. Missed now 2 behind, and the economy. This is something that they've been constantly on the receiving side of in the previous map for the entirety of it. No bonus can save you from the fact that pistols right now are across the entirety of a roster besides Padyu, who stands out with that Tech 9. But what's that gonna have? One looting experience, know how to use these guns proper, and already utility good. Nade here onto Trozor. He backs off, and Miz are seemingly biting back.
Sprays, shots, double down somehow, gets a 2-piece, nice and clean. Padyu able to get another one. Decent trade-ups, but they have to walk in and Let Me Cry, who, yes, Let Me Cry likes to whine. Let's see if they got this with 2 left. Winching up, Let Me Cry just wants to get the pick there. And another one. This is the bomb carrier and the last player standing. Everyone's just giving this guy ones. And yeah, he gets his. Let Me Cry. I mean, why are we still... Yeah, shoot the bodies. They deserve that. Why are we walking out of one at a time?
As seasoned players, no doubt. But again, Anubis and Mirage, they've just been rough. Even this beginning, again, it isn't at the end just yet. Miz still have plenty of opportunities to make up for it, but... You may think of them as small mistakes, but it's the fact that you're playing against a team that can turn those small mistakes, convert them into much larger results. Looting experience have been doing that time and time again, and until we're going to learn that by heart, Miz, we're going to have to keep on giving up rounds. I like the sneaky approach. Somehow, once more, opening blood here, but Ancient returns it, and Trozor falls in return.
Nice. Not too bad from Ancient, but... I think what we need to see is Ancient continuing that momentum. You can't be good for 1. You got to be good for 2 when you're down a player. And you have to be good enough. But unfortunately, 2 of your teammates are gone. Ancient anchoring, trying to defend his teammate and the flank that's inevitable. That's the time to use it. It's now time to swing it. Flash out. Just executed. Stim gets 1. No, Sick is close. And Sick just swings. What a read and what a shutdown.
You know, Miz, they give it their best, right? It is a post plan for them, but looting experience, have to give it to them, the fact that they've maybe also been applying mental pressure as this has gone on. Miz, I'm imagining they're just ignoring the fact that this has been a very one-sided match. Okay, Sick AF, let him live at least. Ah, there we go. Tactical timeout for Miz. I like the fact that they're going to take a bit of a breather, reset everything's back to ground 0. Again, they're still committed to winning this. But if you want to make it to the grand finals, you're going to need more than just ambition.
What more do you need besides ambition? Aim, ability to play with each other, decent mentality so you don't get shit talked in Twitch chat. You know, there's a lot of options here. But what I need to be seeing to really lock this team in, of course, is going to be coming down to Miz and some of the players that we just haven't seen a lot of value from. Copycat, Padyu. These guys are really solid. Strauss, previously the clutch king, unfortunately can't clutch anything.
I feel as if they maybe just exhausted everything they had energy-wise. All their fuel was put into map number 1, and that's kind of left them, let's say, not unconscious, but at least a bit starstruck from the amount of energy that went into it. Now Miz, they're trying to recover, but there isn't anything being shown. Look at Looting Experience. They're going outside of what the CT side is supposed to protect. And Pat, ooh, what a reaction. There we go. Let Me Cry is going to be the first opening. And the second one as well. But Miz, can we find this returning shot? 2 players from somehow. It's going to be Sick AF and somehow, again, seasoned veterans across Mirage and now going into Anubis. But is this just too much for them to handle?
I think it might be. I mean, I think right here, that Miz is a solid team. I took a look at, some of the competitiveness. Ancient's been with Miz for over a year now. This guy's been with this team for a long time, so I'm assuming he's got to be carrying them right now. And there's a chance that he brings that kind of energy. The problem is Looting Experience is just bringing a lot more. But Miz, they will be getting this round thanks to the save. And looks like no one gets the save either, so pretty solid.
Miz keep on moving forward. That tactical timeout, be it at the same time or later, does end up working in their favor, and a good one for them to try and get back into this round. Not even that, this half as well. They can still end up with a 7-5, which is unlikely statistically, but again, we're basing that off of Mirage. Miz are going to have to be a completely different team if they want to win this against Looting Experience and find themselves in those grand finals. Now, better buy. We have 2 Galil or here and there from the T side, which, again, even Looting Experience, I don't think they're going to be able to match that performance considering all 5 players are off to a complete save, besides Petro, who has a single smoke in his arsenal.
You see, I don't think that if they have Galils or not will matter. It's against people with light armor and pistols. You could be walking into this round with a deagle and actually having a better chance against these guys. So I think that, buying light actually makes it so you're guaranteeing anything to happen next round. But talk about anything happening. Straws, double kill up and shutting him down. Very solid. And the fight mid. We do see the trade. And there's another one down. Terrorists are going to take that one. 3 lives still remaining. MIZ shooting bodies. These guys are getting heated.
There we go. Emulating the performance from map number 1. It's been kind of missed, but again, vindication here. Undoubtful. Miz really good in these ones, and again, Looting Experience if they want to swing back into that unstoppable force they were on map number 2. This is the round to do it, considering the guns are once more better for them. Utility, well, it's not ideal, but you can certainly work around it as the molly here by Pat, or against Pat, who is going to deny him from moving forward. A swing here, but Symbolins cleans up Let Me Cry. Another one for the taking. Copycat, good for 3. Swords are on the returning side, but Miz have already taken over this A site, or B site.
Already taking it over, setting themselves up fairly well. It looks like we are going to see Looting Experience kind of eating their talk. They're taking a lot of bad time here, and the saves keep coming out. I mean, understandable to try to keep Somehows up. Understandable to try to keep this player online, but at the same time, Pat Yu is kind of lurking around. Might have the timing on these guys, and heard the scope, but doesn't want to fight too much.
And of course, none of this would be possible, not this match, not the previous, not the ones tomorrow, without the LFG network. Again, a community-driven Discord looking for group servers designed to fix the matchmaking experience by connecting players to better squads and streamlining the pre-made process. With thousands of players connected already, the plausible LFG network is extending its free early access period. So join players and servers together across PUBG and CS2 with more titles coming soon. The next squad is just moments away, and so is our match as it continues with Looting Experience keeping the lead.
Very solid here from Looting Experience to go for another save. But MIZ, I mean, turning this around, I think they're tired of getting teabagged, body shot. I think that they just really want to take their time. But remember, look at this. Picks and winners. Every time someone's picked the map, they've won it. Now that it's a decider, you got to ask Escanor. Who decides who wins? Who decided that, and who decides what takes it? A little bit of a swing comes out, and a shot fired, not going to connect quite well. Smokes are down, and a shot out will scare these players back, but no one has fallen yet, and somehow aggressive with the op takes out Ancient.
Good wallbang. Shraz finds Strozer, who hasn't been having the most of luck inside this matchup. There's now an even standing on both these ends, but again, low HP here. You're going to have to smoke yourself out to find a very safe passage. No shots coming through yet. A random op attempted. Pat, you elsewhere finding Petrol at an entrance towards this A site for Miz to follow along in. Straz, in the meanwhile, holding waters, and this is a major standpoint. Barrel spotted the hand as well, and the head tapped in an instant after. Now two players from Looting Experience, as they might just have to give up the lead for now.
They might have to. Another save. Oh, maybe they don't. The bomb's not planted. They don't have to save quite yet. They can just go for damage. They can keep this up. Sick AF knows that there's guns in the grounds that have been picked down from his teammate. But the problem is that he has to find it relatively quick. And we have to see Pat you stagger here if we actually want to find that value.
Another save, hoping that Looting Experience can carry it over into the next rounds. Because Miz, they're looking to hunt down their prey. Already set their eyes on a bit of a prize. And again, it's this op that somehow currently carries. Speaking of which, somehow, and have to give credit where credit is due, considering he hasn't been on an AK or anything like it, still has dealt enough damage. 10 kills and 6 stats. Although sadly, one of the players here, oh, there goes Sick AF. Somehow though, again, the consistency on this player is just insane.
Oh, but he can't save. Getting taken out there is a massive blow to Looting Experience, but they still get to buy another op. It's just they don't have armor now. They have to glass cannon a little bit. They have to really just take a step back. M1Z, solid team, wanted to keep it going. Fortunately, not being able to connect too well.
Oh, that is just brutal. Let me cry somehow. Gonna keep a Looting Experience now a tip above as Miz. Yes, they take out Sick AF, who, well, a tyrant in the previous map, but nonetheless, a 2-for-1 exchange here is certainly gonna see more that has dropped down into mid. What are we doing here? Somehow just trying to play his advantage, but Straz has once more tipped the scale in the favor of Miz's. Now they can swing towards the safe, find themselves an easy plant, but there's another asset. Petrol is starting to feel antsy, and Nate to clear that smoke, and it's Copycat to clean him up. Let me cry, going for the flank. Finds Straz. Has another one to clear, but it will be denied as now it's Miz playing the save game, and they're going to sandwich this last one.
Oh, sandwiched. And now the lead goes in the hands of M1Z. That's right, spray their body. They deserve it. Teabag all you want, but if you're going to keep that up, you need to keep up this gameplay. There's a chance that they turn this around here, and if they turn it around, then this could be a very different outcome. But at the end of the day, it does come down to who's ready to play. Straz is getting these double kills. Everyone's popping off, but the problem is Let Me Cry is only good for one. Everyone here is only good for one, except for Somehow, who somehow keeps managing to get multi-kills with an op.
Good, Nate. Clear out the default cover around electrical. Again, push these players back from trying to swing unpredictably. Let Me Cry has certainly been one of the players to step up inside this matchup. And right behind, somehow on that MVP role when it comes down to the kill count. Miz still close to the smoke, trying to take their chances and, well, hoping that they don't get shot out through the smoke randomly, or actually tactically, I'll put it that way.
Nothing is random. You either get shot or you don't. Sick AF proving that onto Straz, getting his player down. The rest of the CT side having to group up. This is the last round and a half. No saving this time. We're not on Inferno. Let's just get this going. We do see flashes out, lots of blind on Ancient, but again, we're not swinging off this util, so every time we use one, we lose a future strategy. Because right now, there's only 2 flashes left, no more smokes, and no more mollies.
Nothing from Looting Experience just yet. Yes, they found Straz. Miz haven't been really able to reevaluate themselves just as of now, but now the players from Miz closing in. They've exposed their location and thoughts. Plan in mind has been set. Good for Sick AF, but he falls nonetheless. Now Miz stepping up and clearing whatever is around this B site. As all of a sudden, Looting Experience, where has all that passion gone? Trozor trying to deny the plan from going down, but the bomb is still around pillar, very nicely covered. 3 players to make sure that it is stuck on through, and time ticking against you. Sand grains just dropping down the sand clock. Trozor trying to make a roundabout. What does that matter when you're exposing Pat? You is going to close Miz off with a 7-5. Keep in mind, what was the score line at the beginning of this? It was 5-1. Now it's 7-5. Miz are so back.
Yeah, they're back. They're back and they're kind of furious. They do not like the amount of BM that has been going on here. But it's Counter-Strike. It's Europe. These guys are going to hate each other, and that's okay. But now they have to prove who's better than the other. Now they have to shoot. Just prove. What is the main play? Obviously, the T side very heavily favored Miz, but again, we said that on Ancient, and then Looting Experience completely took us away and took us to overtime. So it's not stopped yet. Okay, an interesting little strat. I see Petra wants to become the flashbang, and it works. Getting a double kill down for the team. Now it's a 4v4 or 4v3 with a CT on a desperate retake, but this is a smoke on the ground. Somehow likes to shoot through those.
Straz, he has a bit of a pick, so he's going to find somehow prior on to Pat Sikayev to make sure it's still in the lead for Looting Experience. And now we have a 7-6, closing it once more going towards the second half because the pistol matters a lot. This is an opportunity for Looting Experience to not only equalize things out, but get themselves back on leverage.
Yeah. Back on it with 7-6. Now, you're looking pretty solid here for Looting Experience. Again, somehow still getting smoke shots, getting them right on through. I need to see Petrower getting a little bit more value from him. 3 and 11, not optimal, but doesn't mean that it's not going to stop. As we now see them pushing up just a little bit, wanting to lock this in. Sikayev and Pat Yu trying their best to really lock this down.
Miz preparing around a bloody rendezvous towards B. Little do they know, Looting Experience have spread out and stretched throughout this entire map, getting ready to cover all the angles they need to not only cover mid, which again, sentimental to both these sides, so if you hold control, you certainly have a lot of options to work around, but it's Straz here who's going to at least deny them from going towards this top mid rotation into A or B as easily.
Just taking it slow. Wanting to now push on up with the damage dealt. I've seen a lot of util usage. Pretty slow round, respectively, but Ancient, the MP7 in their hands. Remember this. Flashbacks to the kill feed. This guy knows how to use it. Can we see him get some value? All he has to do is be good for 2, and his team is very happy. Good for 1. And Semblance gets the nade on somehow, but Semblance gets traded as well. But now the run and the gun copycat just booking it down. Oh my days, the 5-7. It cleans up and Miz says, nice first round. We take it back on second.
Honestly, really good message sent back to Looting Experience. A way for them to answer, even though being on low eco, the investment into that MP9, and especially Copycat's movement. Oh, it's a game changer to say the least. The nade also having a say inside that kill feed, but mostly Copycat again. He broke this type of, I would say, tempo by Looting Experience being locked into their strategy. He somehow shattered himself into it, which caused a bit of confusion and allowed the rest of Miz to clean what remained like Looting Experience. As now Miz on a full buy, knowing Looting Experience shouldn't be the best economically, but still taking a tactical timeout just so they can calm their nerves after what went down. Oh wow, can we just appreciate the observing work here for a moment? That is beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, free cam observing, always nice to watch them fly around here and do some really solid moves. But as we are getting into this next round right on time, it's time for us to keep on schmoving through. And now we're going to just keep on doing it. Let's see it. Flashes are out, smokes are out, burns are online. But at the end of the day, it's about who is ready to play. And they are ready today on B, not on A. But they want to push on in.
Oh, the smoke is tempting. They take that as a suggestion. Blindness matters not, but again, you have to realize reality setting itself in. Looting Experience, they're still living in a dream, however. Somehow in Sikayev are making it happen. And what a shot by somehow after he regains that AK in his hands. A new power untold, and Copycat now needing to do it once more. Previous round was his to claim. Can he carry that MVP title once again? Post plant is not there just yet. Somehow is low on HP, but Looting Experience are going to take the really, really silent path outside of B and just regather their thoughts.
Just breathe here. Definitely still winnable no matter what happens. If we can see the 8 and 6 close the gap a little bit. T-side, very happy about their current position, but they have no idea where Copycat is. They haven't even opted to go for the plant. They're afraid of this site. B is a boisterous boy. Maybe, just maybe, we can see them lock it in, but at the end of the day, we still need to get that bomb planted. If we can get the bomb planted, we can change the fate of this semifinal.
It's done. Good step for looting. Copycat was already considering the rotation towards B, but now it's a matter of question of what these T players are going to hold. Do we go for a cross, traditional double hold? There's so many options. Had spotted, but Copycat does not respond. Somehow, all he needed was his eyes and a bullet to put right between those of Copycat's. And 8-7, Miz will not be running away too far ahead as looting experience are right back to try and catch up to them.
Yep, right back to catching them up. And of course, 8-7 not looking too shabby. Of course, we are also hoping to see another buy round from MIZ soon. But Miz looking a little bit worse for wear. Two of them on a pistol. But remember, Copycat's 5-7 has single-handedly won rounds for this team.
Oh, wow.
And what a flash. Beautiful team synergy.
That was a perfect flash. Trozor is good to refrag. Looting experience are going to triple dip upon that. What did this come out of? Miz, they thought they got a single kill and the round was already settled. But now there's still much more that you need to learn. There's going to be that lead from Miz just stripped away from them unless Semblance and Straz can make a miracle work out of this one. Going beneath water, bridge should be overtaken. And so see Straz here with a pistol. Semblance is kind of alone here on the opposite side of the map and has the opportunity to hold down A, but what does that matter when looting experience have already set their eyes on the prize that is this B plant?
Nice. Wanting to just inch this up. Nice, good pick there from Straz. Trozor is down. Has everything they need to just keep on moving, but has to wait for their teammate. Unfortunately, their teammate's too far for them to actually make any moves here, so they opt to save. Looting experience, guaranteeing themselves the tied game of 8-7.
Yeah, not really a worthy challenge to take by Straz and Semblance. Quite honest that is, but looting experience, they're still going to try and take their chances. There's not much that Petro has to lose, so he can look to be a body bag. A nade was sent nicely to try and capture one of the players off guard, but Semblance still good to take these 1v1s, one after another, ban for ban, and now 8 against 8. Looting experience have caught up. It's a matter of question of will they regain that long-lost lead they once held, though.
I think that they could definitely try to retake the lead. It really just depends on these hero plays and if they're going to keep getting, pretty much solo picked at the end of each round. I think what we really need to be looking at is how do we play against Ancient and Pat Yu, that flash combo that have been pretty much getting them first blood every round.
Smokes out, we can hear that. Again, early expanses of that utility by Miz has been quite traditional. Their CT side also very promising, I have to say. Even though they ended off on a 7-5, they certainly brought it at least close and challenged looting experience at each battle they've opposed. Enough 5 players on. I mean, I'm taking a look at 3 pistols from Miz, and I'm kind of feeling discouraged. I'll be honest.
Yeah, but
oh my God! What?
Maybe don't discourage the 5-7. It's a goated gun. Copycat, though, definitely discouraged. Got shot in the face. Overall, though, you still have that B site looking relatively open. Semblance is in a position to anchor this down well. Knows that Sick AF wants to flash on out, and goes for the spray. Does no damage. No, it does hit Trozor. Does ding Trozor there, but not enough.
Not nearly enough. Oh, 20 HP. It's not nearly enough for him to go down mentally, but physically he's not looking the best. Look at Patty, who snuck up into the smoke. Somehow just gonna wait for him patiently. Unfortunate here, but Miz, considering the pistols they had, now this post-plant situation is gonna be a bit more difficult to hold, and yeah, well, the retake certainly will not be theirs. They had a teammate who snuck himself deep into the enemy lines, but besides that, they haven't been given the time to work around it, and now looting experience, lead is back in their hands. But I'm liking the fact that this is a bit more of a even-sided matchup again. I'm starting to freshen up and smell the scent that was Ancient, and that's what we need in these semifinals.
I mean, the back and forth between these two teams is a little bit too much to swallow here. I mean, 3 rounds now in the lead here in this half. Beautiful from looting. MIZ, though, they were last on an eco round. we're still letting too many big trades come through. And every time that we get a pick, if I'm MIZ and my team just got ourselves a wonderful pick thanks to Ancient, immediately Copycat just says, oh, I could also die. Like, I don't understand it. Going in like this, it's causing a lot of back and forth trades that we don't really need to be seeing here.
No, certainly not. It's down to all how Miz are going to reclaim it again. Once they start losing leverage, I feel like their mental also goes down. They kind of resorted to a tactical timeout previously to get themselves sorted. This time around, you know, hopefully it's going to be it can be done without that need to get into the groove of things. Good by somehow here. He throws a bit of utility and then just backs off so the bullets don't go right riddling into his body, but he alone can contest around this top mid because it's been backed off by Miz. They don't seem like it's a worthy enough piece of ground to cover, so somehow, you know, perfect moment for him to push forward.
Yeah. Pushing forward in mid might be able to get some more value here, especially since we're now below 60 seconds and trying to lock this in. It's going to be difficult when Strazen's here. Look at that team play. But Pat Yu tucked in this corner. The crossfire's too potent, but Ancient able to grab one. Trozor blinded, gets the trade out, but 2v4. They have to fight this. Miz smokes up. Semblance gets one. They're looking for the final player. And they get him. Semblance through the smoke.
Good one for Miz. They keep 4 players alive as well, so only Straz is going to be forced to buy anything into this round. However, though, looting experience, where's that momentum from the previous map? Right now, their buys are going to be very forced upon again, especially now that Miz, if they win this round, I'm imagining they're going to thrive very, very deeply after hurting looting experience so much with these kills. I mean, a player on a Tech 9, a Mac 10, little to no utility on that T side as well. Yes, there have been wonders which have been worked around in the past, but relying on them is no healthy expense.
Here we go. Oh, almost got the pick. This boost is actually so clean, or it's not enabling them enough to get into sight, not enabling them enough to push this up, and they might have the chance of keeping this going. But at the end of the day, it's all about the plays, and Ancient is locking it down. 2 Ts needs to now take out 2 Ts, needs to get these players gone, but Copycat walking on up, knows Petro just got a pick. Petro grabs the gun. They are going to try to execute the site. Ancient's timing, he drops. And he's not able to get it. He can't track him. All the timing. Copycat now having to rotate. Walks right into where his teammate just fell. But this time successfully gets the trade. And they have to push on up. Semblance. He can't get his. Looting experience has advantage. 4v2. It looks like we're going to see another save.
The privilege of breaking down the bank of your opponent has been passed down between both these teams, and Miz, they don't want to risk it any further. At least these M4s and an AK can be sent. Oh, good angle here. Strats tries to take advantage of it. Hopefully he won't force it onto Copycat, who's very low on HP. Finds somehow good bare minimum and looting experience. Look at them back away from this, not really wanting to scatter further into challenging these last 2 players from Miz, because again, they themselves are not very financially stable. The bomb goes off. It's a 10-9 here for looting experience. And now a real scary back and forth again. I'll be honest, I think we're going to see another overtime.
I think we're going to see another overtime as well. I think that can change, though, if MIZ stops letting these guys get the jump on them. We're seeing a lot of, like, impatient plays. We just watched Ancient give up that entire site because he was being impatient and dropped down. We've seen the aggressive play coming out that Petro was able to punish Pat Yu for. It's just, you gotta be patient here. And unfortunately, if you weren't patient on Ancient, like, what are we doing? Why are we pushing that?
Pat Yu. Some of these kills have been very unnecessary upon him. Yes, he's performed kills-wise somewhat decently, but the fact that he's given up so much deaths as well doesn't make up for it. As now Nade's out looting experience are trying to at least clear more ground around Bridge itself, and what an interesting boost. I'm liking this. Somehow drops, spotted no one, and again, look at Miz. They've just given up complete mid-control, but looting experience, they're looking to advance upon elsewhere.
Yeah, just be patient. You've lost your player in mid. You no longer get a fight for that. Looting experience has to be patient as well. They need, honestly, their patience is paying off. They know, okay, these counter terrorists sure do love pushing us. So if we just wait, we might get a couple. But the flashes, the smokes, everything's out. They hear the util, but they just got cut off sight because of their impatience. They swung together, and now it's up to them to hold it down from the doorway. And Simulants does it. Nice double down. Petro gets another, but they need to get the bomb. Are they going to anticipate any more? Copycat swings, but the flank from somehow allows it to be all you need. Ancient 1v2 op in hand. Do they go for it?
The op can be such a double-edged sword. Again, if looting experience offer those ones, it should be an easy one for the taken as long as you hit your shots. But, oh, what a good read from Ancient. He's instantly going to respond to that rotation towards A. And I don't know why looting experience opted out for it, because now they might be walking into certain death. But, oh no, Ancient! He's going to miss. He doesn't for the second time, though. Only a single bullet that needs to land here. Even though HP is low, as long as he can connect it before Trozer finds his trigger finger, the round could be back for Miz. So much on his shoulders, he spotted him. Oh, but a late reaction still connects, and Ancient will take out Trozor. That op being the biggest grace passed down into his hands, and looting experience, they went way too deep into this alone.
Just stupid with that. The fact that, why are we on a site that we fully controlled, fully taken? Not going for the plant. Instead, we go for the full rotate, allow Ancient to set up, and that gets him a double. And then the flick of the sentry, you're like, look at this. Bonk, you're gone.
Oh.
Like, I don't understand how we can lose that. Looting experience doesn't understand it either. They're voting a timeout. They need to just take a pause for a second, really calculate what just happened.
It's a good time for Miz. I'm imagining they're quite happy with it. This is a terrifying spot here for looting experience because, you know, Miz, they lose the round. It's actually terrifying for both teams if we're being quite honest. I mean, take a look at some of these players. $0 on Somehow and Straz. Then you have 150 spread across Multitude. Again, whoever loses this round, and especially if Miz or looting experience can get a dominating win, the economy for the enemy team is broken, then they need to save a round or two, and all of a sudden, your opponent has match point and series point? I don't know.
Huh. This is good. This is good. Getting into this next round, it's all about patience. Again, wanting to lock this in. Looting experience. Takes a little bit of damage from some util, but overall, I think the CTs have learned their lesson. They're not pushing anymore. Ancient's clutch has kind of kept them in the game. And when there's $1,000 on the line, you want to make sure that you win it.
Yeah, 100%. No doubt there. A large prize pool, the largest that Plausible Gaming has had in history. And now you have the opportunity of claiming it for that first spot. Of course you want it, but you're going to need to work hard for it. There's a swing with the Tech 9, and Petro actually finds Straz. Another one for his taking, and this has allowed looting experience to step up in the game. Plant is going down through the smoke. Trozer has found Sibilance, and all of a sudden it's crumpling. Miz cannot find a response as they're left speechless, stumbling over their words. Pat's stuck in a corner now as all action has settled down. With little to no expense though, Miz, they've had such a good prior. What will they do to at least make sure that the clutch from Ancient isn't for naught?
No, they're going to save. They're going to save this. I mean, Pat U's not really making enough space. Is he going to try to ninja defuse? Oh, he tried.
No.
He actually tried it. All right, Copycat. Saving. Copycat confuses me. Either he is the first one to die or the first one to save every single round. There is no difference. First one to die or the first one to save. I don't get it.
He needs to pick a poison man. Or maybe something that isn't one of the two. But look, Copycat, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. He likes... It's a weird distinction because you have one point where he doesn't like his life at all, and then the other one where he likes it a bit too much. Either that being the case, whatever it is right now, Copycat alongside his teammates. Oh, please don't. Oh, somehow the fact that he didn't take his head lean off there is a bit of a surprise, but I'm imagining Miz are happy. Straz, or the on top mid, a bit scarred for life, but hey, he gets away with it for now.
Yeah. Gets away with it fairly well. You do see some armor buys coming out from the team. Overall, I think what we need to be looking at here is not pushing up mid again. Well, Ancient's now down. So there goes one of the players. Looting experience, by the way, if you didn't notice, is 1 round away from getting match point advantage, guaranteeing either an overtime or their win. And we just lost Ancient, the guy who's been consistently trying to clutch it for M1Z.
Barely below a minute. What was that smoke? Oh, well. It's okay, you know.
New tactic just dropped.
This is the opening meta into Anubis. Tutoring by SickAF. Whatever the case, you know, he has been an absolute demon on that gun, so I'm not going to say anything to him in case I run into him in a comp match, because I imagine he'd remember. Miz gonna have to hold away the entirety of looting experience, but these shots, SickAF, that's what I'm talking about. Simulits falls, Petro one more onto Pat, and all of a sudden, there is just 2 players now from Miz, and they might have to force for the save to keep themselves going, because look at the rest of the team. 0-50-0 between Ancient, Pat, and Simulants. No money on these 3, and you're just having to wonder how are they going to bring it back, or at least an eye-loading experience of match point and regulation.
One thing that I also have a question for is, yes, this is going to be a save. Match point advantage going to be moved over. First off, question 1, are they even going to be allowed to save against 5 players? And question 2 is, why is Copycat the guy with the M4 when he could drop it to the guy who's dropping 22 kills?
Not low. But, well, Copycat, he falls nonetheless. And that M4 will not be transferred either way, as a looting experience are the ones to first catch upon match point. Miz have been, you know, certainly fighting back a lot more than Mirage. But all that energy put to test now, only for it to be stripped away very brutally, as they have 3 MP9s and 2 pistols to make something work.
Make it work, make it happen, make it now. Locking this in, you do have 10 to 12, and I mean, no, they're gonna rush mid. Let's see how that goes for them. They grab 1. They grab 2. Maybe rushing mid was never a bad idea. Maybe it's the fact they only did it with 1 person. Hold up.
What the hell has Mish just cooked up? Go to hell with Michelin. They're serving us private. There we go. Trozer, look at him just caught off guard. He's so scared. 5v1. He doesn't know how the hell this happened. Pat with a pistol gonna put him down. And this is a complete turnaround. Miz, they're making dreams reality.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. That was an insanely smart play from Miz that's coming incredibly late. They do manage to get into the potential overtime round here. Looting experience. Trozor cannot get a full buy. Rest of the team has full buy. Somehow has the op. Simbalance has the op. Could change this game. Could actually make or break it. But the lineup, this has been critical in allowing for a pick to come through. All we have to do is be patient. Seeing them now move on up. Mac 10, Trozor needs to be flashed in by the team.
Flash in the hands of Ancient, he's going to send it forward. Again, this, for looting experience, won't be enough of a reason to push themselves forward, but about 3 players stuck up, crunched on bridge. 4th one behind, 1 going towards boats. There we go, should be exposed. Now, do we try to challenge this? Certainly not. Amali should be able to isolate one of these players. Trozor falls. A follow-up through smoke, so isolate yourself from the enemy team. And a good nade in return. That's going to be perfectly set up by Ancient here. Simbalance allowed to get away with 1 patrol and stuck in Ancient.
Nice.
SickAF is able to read into that and somehow taps Pat out of the competition. 3v3 equals standing, but you don't have all the ground you'd want. Still the backside here covered, but Copycat is looking to approach and even challenge the bomb holder for it. You have to consider looting experience. You need that plan to go on down, but a shutdown somehow takes out Copycat, and this is rotation initiative.
There we go. Rotating right away, dropping the op, picking up a different weapon. 3v2, and Strauss is already on site. No.
Oh, wow.
You got a clear sight. Now there's 15 seconds. We have to go to overtime here.
No way. Oh.
Okay. Wait. 1v1. Oh! You get it the last second. What? Are you kidding me? crazy.
Wow. That wasn't expected. For a moment, it all looked like it was going to go haywire with the fact that, they didn't check sight. They kind of just went in raw. But in the last few seconds, and they do it because, Miz just didn't play it fully shaped. They didn't try and tuck the tail between the legs and run for it because of the timer alone. They wanted to challenge, and that's now cost them not only a map, but semifinals and an entry into the grands. And congratulations here to the side of Looting Experience, because they just mowed them down.
Yeah, actually kind of insane with it. Being able to see this kind of gameplay, that we're going to be looking at now our bracket of the game. And seeing what I'm seeing, it's going to be Dragons, who did fairly well against this team, now get to go up against Looting Experience in our grand finals of the PGCS Season 11. $1,000 is on the line. And of course, we can't do that without Plausible Gaming, our primary sponsor, and our main LFG, where some of these players have met and now have shown with amazing skill. Dragons, Looting Experience. This is going to be very interesting to see them continue onward. I got to say GG's to everyone who competed today and so far in this playoff bracket. With that being said, I've been Edu. I've been joined by Puffo Bob. Thanks for watching.
Ingredient is belief. They deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. When you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.